Okay, so the Knicks, we had some drama but wasn't, I don't know, between Coach Tibbs and Mikal Bridges. We're also going to talk about the Golden State Warriors game tomorrow. I will have a special guest in the building, a guy who he frequents the show, but he represents the Warriors. I do have a question of the night. Can this Knicks improve defense, the defense that we're looking at with Brunson out of the lineup, being that they're playing better, of course, with Mitch in the lineup, do you think that this Knicks team can thrive in the playoffs? This is the Knicks call-up show, and let's get into it. Hey, welcome to the Knicks Call-Up Show. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the objective fan, straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest, and you know the vibes, man. Man, look, man, we got an action-packed show. You guys know this is the Knicks Call-Up Show. So I look forward to talking to you guys tonight. Hopefully you guys are doing well. I do got some things I got to shout out before we get started. By the way, salute to all the people that's in the building. I got this thing blocking my chat. I don't know what it is, but salute to JJP NYC. Salute to Tori B. Crimes Dad, I see you in the building early, telling me to start the show early, man. Let's go, man. Salute to all you guys watching, man. I do appreciate you guys. This is the Knicks Call-Up Show, 646-995-8389. But I want to thank you guys for helping me get to 1,200 subscribers. I know I haven't been pushing the subscriber count because we've been sitting like at 1190 something for a minute. But I'm glad we reached that mark. I just realized that, like, oh man, we crushed the 1,200 mark. I know I'm on the road to 2,000, but at the same time, we still got to celebrate the smaller milestones. So I do appreciate you guys for helping me get to that point. Also, them boys in white and red, St. John's. Red Storm, we did it, baby. We going to the finals, the Big East finals tomorrow, man. I got to give a big time salute. I went to St. John's University, and even though I'm a Duke fan, and I was a Duke fan way before I went to St. John's, but I still ride with the Red Storm. That's my school. That's where I went. So, Queens stand up. Queens, we definitely doing our thing, man. So salute to everybody in the building. I do got a caller. Let me get to this first call. Hello, caller. State your name. Where you calling from? Okay, you can hear me now?
Yep, loud and clear. This is
Let's
Yuri.
go, Yuri.
This is speaking.
Let's go, man,
St.
Yuri.
John.
Yes.
We got St. John. Congratulations to St. John.
Yes, sir.
Long time coming. That franchise has been going through some miserable times, but now they're back.
We back, baby. We back.
And shout out to Duke for winning by 1 point.
Hey, man. Double whammy, man. Hey. I can't give a New York City salute because it's Duke. JJP, come on, JJP. You got to let me live. Salute to JJP NYC, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. He got the the throw-up face. Come on, man. Can I live? Listen, man, look. I'm going to tell this quick story here before I let you ride.
Right.
The reason why I'm a Duke fan is because of that bald-headed guy in Chicago. Okay? And some of you guys might have heard this story. Now, back in the 90s, Knicks couldn't get it done. So I was trying to find players that could be better than that guy. One of those guys just so happened to be Grant Hill. I never watched Grant Hill in college. When he got to the pros, I thought he was amazing. I said, yo, where did that guy go to school? They said Duke. And ever since then, I became a Duke fan because I'm like, yeah, this guy right here, he's going to be the guy to take out the bald-headed guy from Chicago. So because of that guy, that's why I'm a Duke fan. Hey, look, see how things come full circle? Well, what's up, Yuri? What's going on, man? I know there's some things you want to talk about.
Listen, I want to talk about the podcast today because
Okay.
that was probably the best podcast episode I've seen in a long time.
Okay, your roommates, right? The roommates podcast, right?
That was the best podcast episode I've seen in a long time.
Right.
Because we actually got a lot of answers from James Dolan himself, and I think it changed my perception of him, of how I viewed him when I was younger growing up. And I'm fully convinced that the media, the New York media, gave this man hell way back then. And they still
Oh yeah.
continue to give
Oh
him
yeah.
hell.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And especially the case with the. Before I talk about the Mikal Bridges and Tibbs thing, I just want to shout out to both James Dolan and Leon Rose.
Oh yeah.
James
Oh
Dolan
yeah.
for now realizing that he didn't have to meddle with the Knicks any longer, and I'm glad he had to learn that the hard way and through the soft way.
Yep.
Because if for those that don't know and those that still hate James Dolan at the time wanted Phil Jackson to take over the reins, and we all know
Hmm.
how that turned out. James
Right.
Dolan wanted the Knicks to succeed. At
There
the
you
end of
go.
the day, he had the wrong people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
Facts.
I realized today in a podcast, and I'm happy I did.
Yeah, and you know what? On that podcast, I thought he showed his personality. He showed that he's somebody that I'm not going to say he's down to earth because I never met him, but he
But
does seem like somebody you could actually talk to. I don't think that it's all like cap and faking it on the pod. I think that
no,
he
that felt
seems to
real.
be
That felt
somebody.
genuine.
Yeah, yeah, no, it definitely did feel genuine. Oh, hold on. Hey, home. They come for me in the chat. By the way, salute the coach. Salute the coach in the building, man. Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. He said he always liked Don as an owner. But JJP, man, yo, come on. I used to use drugs back then. Hey, man, I know y'all don't like Duke. I know, but yo, Duke is my school, man. I'm riding with Duke all the way. But I'm also riding with St. John's too. But to bring it back to Dolan, I do think that he definitely gets a bad rap, and I don't really care about Dolan from a standpoint of he's not involved in the basketball stuff. My channel is not about drama and what's going on with your wife, and I don't do the personal life. I don't care about none of that stuff. I care about basketball, right? And we
Yeah,
talk
same.
about basketball related topics. So as long as Dolan doesn't interfere with the basketball operations, allow Leon Rose to do his job while he goes and do billionaire things, I'm good with him. I'm even cool with the fact that he told the media, hey, don't even put me on TV. I don't want to make this about me. He's at every game. He just doesn't want the camera on him. So
That's nothing wrong with that.
nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So hey, it is what the media is also upset because I know Stephen A. harped on this that
Stephen
they
A.
have to get.
I saw that whole thing.
No, I'm not even talking about that. We could also talk about that. I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith is also upset that I think with MSG you have to get a media pass every game instead of for the season. So you got to continue to So some of the media people don't, but some of them they don't like that. They don't like that. So it is what it is, if you ask me. Mm-hmm.
Good. I'm happy that gotta get a media pass every game. I'm happy. You want to know why I'm happy? Because every time we had to give out season passes for the media always came up with some stupid stuff way back in the day. I know the media was bad in the 90s. I wasn't around for the 90s. But growing up in the early 2010s, the media was bad.
Yeah, those are bad times. Yeah, but you know what it is? It's like because the team is good now, right? So to be fair, like I feel like the media has been pretty, even old media like the ESPNs and them. I feel like they can't, to a degree, because sometimes.
Let's not go.
Yeah, I mean they got certain people that I can't go. Yeah, I almost jumped all the way off the ledge, but I do think the Knicks have been getting a little bit more favorable light in the media overall. But you still get little stories like this with the whole Mikal. I swear to God, when I read that story earlier today,
I was shocked. I was like, wait, Mikal Bridges actually called out Tom Thibodeau? No, I refuse to believe that.
No, but you see the way the interview is laid out, and I could point it out if you guys want me to, because I already got the articles up here, so we could really see exactly what happened and where the miscommunication came in. But Yuri, I want you to to further expound on what you got. Yeah, give your take before I get into that.
My take on it is this: Mikal Bridges went up to Tibbs, and he said, "Listen, we need to give the bench more playing time." That's all he said. There was nothing. This wasn't about Mikal basically saying, "Limit my minutes." He don't care about that. He just wanted the bench to get more time. because
Right.
he himself said Thibodeau gets stuck in his ways. He wants to win every game. He wants to put his guys out there. And this is where Minutes Police, I know you're watching this video.
Minutes Police, let's go.
I know what I'm about to say is going to piss y'all off. Tibbs is not getting fired. Get that out of your head. That's number one.
Yes.
Number two, I do side with y'all on this, though. The bench does need to be played more. I will side with you. But other than that, go kick rocks, because I don't mind these starters playing 40 minutes a night. They get paid to do that. They have fun doing it. They do not complain about it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Mikel only said this because he just wants the bench to be played.
Facts.
And I actually agree with him on that one. The bench needs playing time. It's the end of the season.
Yeah, I think we all can agree on that. I think that the bench, you know, I always said I hate the 8-man rotation. Oh God, I like that is just the worst thing for the regular season. Now in the playoffs, if you go to an 8-man rotation, I don't mind it as much. But if you can't play 82 games like that, so we all felt like the bench should play more. Where we did, you know, where we kind of venture off is some people they don't like Coach Tibbs, so they're just anti whatever Tibbs does, right? Then you got the people who are, more favorable. They see more Tibbs in a more favorable light. I'll just put it like that. And so we just disagree on a lot of issues. And Trevor, I think Trevor is in the building too. If not, Trevor, you got to call up. I need a Coach Tibbs.
Yeah, I actually want to combo with Trevor.
Yeah, I want a Coach Tibbs. I need a Coach Tibbs rant with him. But I you know what? Let me break this down, Yuri, right quick.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go into research mode because no doubt. Because look, I'm in research mode, by the way. Look, guys, there's been a mix up, and I'm gonna explain this whole mix up. Now, you see this article, this came out on the 13th, right?
Right.
I think the first article we got was this one. Why Mikal Bridges, or one of the first articles. If that wasn't the first one, I think this was one of the first. Why Mikal Bridges asked Tom Thibodeau to play the Knicks starters few minutes, right? And this whole statement right here, and like I said, I don't have to diss anybody or put anybody down, but I felt like this, instead of this article being the first article, because it makes it look worse than what it really was. If he would have went with this article right here, right? Mm-hmm. Inside the day of the Knicks drama, maybe a different title because it would have been before the game, right?
Yeah.
But the way he explained the story, right? Stefan Bondi was having a conversation with Mikal Bridges at shoot-around, okay? They were having a conversation. He was doing his normal interview, okay? And I see Trevor calling out. Trevor, I'm going to get to you in a second. Don't worry. Once I get through reading this article, we're going to get Trevor on the line. And then I got to get Big Dog Talk Sports on the line, too, because we got to talk some Golden State Knicks.
I need to have a conversation with Trevor about this.
Oh, yeah. Trevor, give me 2 more minutes. I'm going to unpack this, and I'm going to get Trevor in the building, right? So, look, Tom Thibodeau, this is the basically the Q&A, right? He says, Tom Thibodeau gets a lot of flack for how much he plays the starters. Bridges says, yeah. So he's being asked questions. Bridges didn't go to the media and say, yeah, Tibbs is doing this and that and the third. That's not how it happened.
I with it to begin with.
Right. So the way it's positioned is to make it seem like Mikal was trying to be going against Tibbs, and that wasn't it. He was asked questions and he's answering questions, right? He said, do you think it's fair or unfair? And that's when he gave the whole quote about the 48 minutes, right? I don't even need to read that because that's not the gist of what I'm saying, right? So, because we all know this, right? For all the people that, hopefully you guys all know this. I don't want to read the whole thing because I'm trying to move it along faster, right? But look, This was the question. This right here is the most important thing with the article, okay?
When you have that conversation with him, is that good feedback back and forth?
Now, that is different from I went to Tibbs to tell him that, oh, yeah, you're doing this. He was asked a question, did you have a conversation with Tibbs? And probably in passing, yeah, boom, boom, boom. But it wasn't yo, Tibbs, I need to talk to you for a second. Hey, man, you playing the guys too many minutes. That's the way the story was positioned. And no, it wasn't presented like that. Look at Bridges' answers. Bridges says, yeah, nah. he's not really arguing about it. I think sometimes he just gets in his ways and he gets locked in. Right. And he wants to keep the guys out there. Sometimes you got to tell him, like Landry Shamet, for example, or somebody, just keep them out there. They're playing well. That's it. It was a Q&A. It was a Q&A. It wasn't Mikel ragging on Tibbs. It wasn't that.
Denied it, which he should. I'm happy.
And exactly. And so here's the thing. So Tibbs, what you guys got to understand about Coach Tibbs, right? And I'm not sure if they got his quotes here. But anyway, what you got to understand about Coach Tibbs, when he gave his response to the media, he is frustrated with the media and people getting on him with minutes. That energy was not for Mikal Bridges. The energy was for the media. It wasn't that he dismissed Mikal and he was upset with Mikal. No, he is upset with them.
Crazy yesterday. It was crazy when that got released.
Exactly. So this is what the whole thing was. It was not a problem. That's why they already had the conversation, and I think I got that article here. By Stephon Bondi. I did this on purpose. Mikal Bridges, Tom Thibodeau clear the air over Knicks minutes drama. There is no drama. The only drama that exists is because of Stephon, because of Bondi. But the coach remains cagey. Yes, he remains cagey with the media. He does not like when people talk about minutes. He talked about it on the Roommates podcast. I tell you, y'all guys got to watch the Roommates podcast because it's like the cheat code to see a lot of insight. So you could, if you watch the Coach Tibbs episode, he talks about people telling him about minutes. He doesn't like it. So when he was asked the question, right, that's why he was so dismissive. It wasn't for Mikal Bridges because he didn't even know that Mikal spoke to Stephon Bondi. Right. So that's all it was, guys. That's all it was. It wasn't no other, all the other stuff got added in. Then Stephen A started responding. Go ahead.
When guess who wrote the play for Tibbs? Guess who wrote that play for Mikal Bridges' game winner? Tibbs did. And guess what Tibbs did after Mikal hit that game winner? He knew that was going in. And you know what Tibbs does? He raised his fists towards Mikal. What does that tell you about Tibbs? I'll tell you what that tells you about Tibbs. The media may paint me as a bad light, but as long as you succeed, I'm happy.
Yeah, and exactly. And we had J-Tap. We had, people on the ground. Salute to J-Tap. New York City, salute to him. He was at the game. And he wasn't seated on that side. He was on the opposite basket. But what he did say was, he didn't notice no tension. Like, dudes was in good spirits. Right, we saw Bridges dancing with Campaign in the beginning. That's what I was looking for. Does he has a certain look on his face? Come on, man, these dudes got to stop. Let me get Trevor on the line. Sit tight, Yuri. Let me get Trevor on the line. And by the way, keep the calls coming. 646-995-8389. What were you gonna say, Yuri?
If the conference call doesn't work, I'll call back later.
Okay, all right, no problem. Just sit tight. All right, so I got Yuri on hold. Let me get Trevor in the building. Keep the calls coming, y'all. Feel free to talk. Call up and talk your talk. Hey, how's it going, Trevor?
I'm good. And your son?
We good. Hey, Trevor, we good, man. We just we're curious to hear what you got to say, cause I know you was gonna come with the fire. What's up? Let's go.
What's up, Fred? Good to see you again, brother.
Let's go.
All right. Now that I went to the heart specialist today, because we still can inbound the ball, minor adjustments there. We still can keep a sizable lead. When I say sizable, it was 7 points. With about 6.7 seconds.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is that officiating was horrible in that Portland game.
Oh yeah.
Let's agree to that.
Yeah.
I know they have their issues, but all I'm gonna say is there is no way that those foul calls were foul.
Well, we know that.
But there is no excuse though. They should have been able to keep that lead. They should have been able to keep it at the same time. I'll be fair and say that, but I'm pretty sure Portland had some parlays on the refs. I'm pretty sure the refs had some parlays, if you know what I mean.
Hey, you never know. You never know.
But that's what I mean. We gotta expect that anytime you're any New York team for any sport, this is the kind of aggression you have to expect. We always get that. All right?
Right.
So I'm just saying, why aren't we more prepared? Because that's a given.
Lord.
That's a given. we're gonna be held behind the 8 ball each and every time because you're from New York, no matter what sport you're playing.
No, but Trump, I wanted to ask, when you were, because I know you were looking at these articles. What did you think when you heard about this? Do you think it was?
Yeah, what was your initial thought? Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Good question.
My initial thought, it was mentioned to him, because we have a bench, and I've been saying this from day one. You need to play the bench, period. Because what if somebody gets hurt down the playoffs? You don't need them coming in shell shock. You need them coming in being comfortable, playing with the other guys. So you don't have to give them 20 minutes. You give them 2, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Get their feet wet, then bring them in, and from there you will see improvements. And then you're comfortable bringing a guy in because he's been there.
I agree with you. I do.
And then here's the worst part of it now.
I do agree with you on that.
In the off season, you can't even make a real good trade with your guys, even though they're good, because nobody's seen them.
Now I agree with you on that one. I do agree with you. That when I say I'm anti-minutes police, I get pissed off about the minutes. Whole point with the whole 40 minutes thing. They get paid to play minutes. Let's be honest here.
Yeah.
But the part of me on the minutes police side is I do admit Tibbs does need to expand the rotation. Give Tyler Kohler 2 or 3 minutes a night.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that one. What I don't agree with is the fire Tibbs part. That's with that.
Because too many years and you're not making the same adjustment. We spoke about this last year. We spoke about this the year before. We spoke about the year before that. It's the same thing.
I still disagree with it because the last time we fired a head coach, we had Mike Woodson was our head coach back in 2013, 2012. We had Mike Woodson as our head coach. So shout out to Mike Woodson, by the way. Congratulations on the whole Indiana.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Salute to him.
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
Because he deserves it. I wouldn't be surprised if he's even back on the Knicks assistant coaching roster next season. So big shout out to him. Mike Woodson was by far the best coach we had in the last decade. And the minute they fired him after the 2013-2014 season, they were terrible for that whole decade.
But my whole point is this.
We didn't see the playoffs.
My whole point is this. Mm-hmm. If we're calling for the same thing year after year, so you're telling me doing the same thing and expecting a different result. What happens when we get to the second round? You still stick with the same plan, the same thing? No, you have to be a little flexible. And that's all we're asking for. You refuse to be flexible. Every time he's being flexible, we have good results. Every time we play a little faster, and we have good results. Anytime we stop playing one-on-one ball at the very end of the game, we've been successful, no matter what team it is. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. We have to be flexible.
And who is worth playing time on this sorry bench? Tibbs has been playing the players who deserve playing time. Deuce deserves it. Precious Achiuwa deserves it. Mitchell Robinson deserves it.
So real quick, I want to chime in because I got the minutes on the screen since Mitch has been back. So this stat I got up here is from ever since. Yeah. So to kind of like agree with both of you guys, because both of you guys I think agree on playing, the 9-man rotation. So Precious is only getting 13 minutes a night, which I have a big problem with. Yeah, I have a big problem with. And then and Mitch is getting about 14.8, just under 15. And Landry Shamet is getting 15.5 minutes. Now, I'm not trying to knock Landry Shamet, right? I'm going to give him a New York City salute. Salute to Landry Shamet. I think that, you know,
get back
I
to
appreciate him. Yeah, I appreciate him. But at the same time, you know, you need size on the floor.
Yep,
Like
yep.
they're so small with Shaman out there. I'm not, like I said, I'm not trying to just diss the man because I appreciate him working hard to dislocate his shoulder. And this is not really about him like trying to down him. It's really just I think Precious Achua is the better knife man. He brings rebounding size. He can score. If you need him to. No, he's not the shooter Shaman is, but he's also a defender. So I do think that hopefully as time goes along, because now Deuce is going to get more minutes. How many minutes is Deuce is averaging? Deuce is averaging about 30 minutes because he started a lot of these games. So I'm hopeful that campaign's minutes will go up, of course, because Brunson's out. But I do agree that Precious and Mitch minutes is going to go up, but definitely I don't want Precious to be out. Who is that?
Tyler Kolek, his minutes should go up.
No, we don't need Tyler Kolek.
Okay.
No, we don't need. I disagree.
This is my point. We just need about 5 minutes. This is what I'm saying. We don't need a ton of time.
Tyler Kolek?
No, we don't need. We don't need
Tyler Kolek on the floor.
He's not ready.
On the floor.
He will never be ready if he never gets out there.
His defense sucks every time.
That's all right. This is what I'm saying. This is the way you find a gem. Listen to me. This is the way you find a gem. We're not asking for him to get 20 minutes a night. We ask him to get 5 minutes every so. Let me tell you something. I keep telling you all. Body language goes a far way. It's not in the books. You can't show that. So when a guy knows I have a slight chance of getting in, period, everything changes on the bench. The bench is more up to the game. When you dress and you go out there and you stand a slim to no chance to ever get in the game. You're not there. Mentally, you're not there. You're there in your body physically, but you're not mentally there.
Hold on, Yuri. Yeah, I gotta read that. So salute the Parish Thugger for the super chat. He says General Menace Police reporting. Good Tibbs listened to Bridges, so he didn't play 51 minutes, including OT, because he would have been tired for the game winner. But to be honest, Bridges' minutes has been down even before that, though. To be honest, I think that
nothing for the minutes, though. I am happy about
that.
Well, the reason Bridges' minutes was down because he was like tuning out a little bit. If you watch him some of the games, he's been tuning out a little bit. He's there, he's willing, but they're not running the plays that is conducive to him. They were playing a lot of ISO ball.
But Trevor, I want to respond. Like I think Kolek should have got that time earlier in the season when we had a lot of injuries. Now that the bench is whole, I don't need Tyler Kolek. I need Precious Achua to get more time. We already got like 9 guys, 10 guys that can play. So this is not the time to play the rookies now. The time to play the rookies was earlier. I do agree, Trevor. He dropped the ball with that. But right now, you got Precious Achua not even playing, getting DNPs. Like that to me is crazy.
I'm looking at the playoffs. I'm thinking, what if?
Okay.
Just that. That's that one little part. What if? That's the reason why you have a spare in your car. You're not looking forward for a flat. You're looking, what if? You know what I'm saying? And that's the only reason what I'm saying. And that's one of the reasons. And then you could say, all right, depending on the team we're playing, we have a guy we need to chase all night. We need somebody to chase him all night. We can put somebody like that just to chase him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A little deflection.
I get what you're saying. But we could do that with the veterans. That's all I'm saying. We got more than enough veterans to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because even if Deuce gets hurt, God forbid that happens, you got Delonte. I think Delonte, what's his name? Delon. Yeah, I said Delonte. I always call him Delonte. Delon Wright, I think he would get the time before Kolek because he's a veteran. I think he would get the time. So if you would have said
Pacome
Dadier, I might have been with you more, only because we don't got another 6'9" guy.
That sailor,
I know
that ship has sailed.
It's sell.
Because he should have been out there 100 times already.
No, that part, like I said earlier on, I'm with you. Like I feel like those, like what you said is valuable, but right now, nah, I can't say it. Go ahead, Yuri.
So you mentioned playoffs. You really think Tibbs is going to take his chance on the rookies in the playoffs? If I'm the coach, I'm not putting my rookies in.
That's why you're preparing for the playoffs. You're preparing just in case.
Preparing them. I don't care. I am not putting my.
Nah, we ain't not going to need them then. The bench is healthy. Like the time to play them was when your bench was hurt early, when you could live with the mistakes. But right now, it's too much pressure. It's not the right time.
Now. If I'm Tibbs, I'm sticking with the guys I trust. I'm sticking with Deuce McBride. I'm sticking with Precious Achua. I'm sticking with Mitchell Robinson. And once he goes back to the bench, Deuce McBride. Boom. That's your 9-man.
That's your 9-man rotation. Shoot, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Y'all might be mad at me. I'm going 8-man in the playoffs because that's the time to really relax. That's the time to really ramp it up and really put your best foot forward. We see teams do that. 8-man rotation in the playoffs is not out of the question.
But you know what happens in the fourth quarter? We start playing ISO ball because the 8-man. We start playing ISO ball. In that case, we always fall into that trap.
That's why Jalen's on the bench then for the majority of the fourth quarter. We've seen this team show that they can kill it without Jalen. They've been managing to hold the leads.
Yeah. And like I said, and remember also, Trevor, like if you burnt out throughout the whole season because you played too many minutes, then going to the 8-man rotation, it won't work in the playoffs. So let me just further, clarify what I'm saying. Like if I got a good rotation all year round, and now and then we probably gonna like rest, some last games throughout the season because hopefully I think we're gonna secure the 3rd seed. So let's say like we got the last 3 games are meaningless. Let's say we just rest some of the guys. Then we go into the playoffs and guys are not burnt out. We all healthy. I'm going 8-man at that point. Now, if your team is burnt out and they can't handle the time, then of course I wouldn't do it. I'm just telling you how I would do the 9-man rotation because I think Cleveland. We're gonna see how it works in the playoffs. I don't think they're gonna continuously play all of them dudes in the playoffs. I don't think that's smart, especially if you got Milwaukee or what you call it. Yeah, they got to because especially in that second round, man, you got Giannis out there. That's not the time to be playing with the whole bunch of dudes that ain't got no playoff experience. When you're trying to win a series.
Everyone wants to question why Thibodeau plays. He's played so many minutes in the beginning of the season. I was all for them playing all these minutes in December. All for it.
Right.
Call me crazy on that. I'm going to tell you why. Because you needed to ramp up that chemistry process for that starting lineup. That chemistry, compared to how it was in the early seasons, looked horrible. Pat didn't know where to go. OG was lost. Mikal Bridges was lost. We all know how bad.
Yeah, Keith said that. Yeah, Keith was saying that. I remember Keith said that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he was saying like play the guys in minutes. Mm-hmm.
But the only reason why I was seeing why some of them were lost because of the speed we were playing. We were playing too slow, too slow. If you listen, we doesn't have to go 100 miles an hour. If we play a medium speed, I think we click better.
Okay.
Just medium speed.
I love Sherwin.
What Sherwin said, Menace Police, please go take a nap. Anthony Mason was averaging 42 minutes. Yeah, that was a different era. Yeah, that was a different era. Yeah, those guys in the 90s was I mean, the stuff they had to endure. Crazy.
Has scars from the 90s.
Yeah, it was a different time. I don't like to compare the standards of each time, but I do get your point. And I'm saying in the playoffs, I want guys playing 42 minutes because now my guys are in prime condition to get the job done, and everyone's playing 40 minutes in the playoffs. We could pull up the stats if you want to. Everybody's doing it. All the star players, they're not trying to come out the game because they know this is it. These could be the last days we're here. And so what are we resting for? Ain't no guarantee we go to the finals.
We're not talking no big large rests. You just that's all you're talking about. Just to catch your breath.
We got that. We got that. We got that without the young guys though. Trevor, I think your line is that Trevor? Or was that you still there? Oh, okay, yeah, you sound good.
I think Trevor stepped out.
Yeah, Trevor, your line is messed up, brother. I'm not sure if you want to call back, Trevor. We can't hear you.
We got that without the young guys though. Trevor, I think your line is that.
Yeah, I hear him.
Yeah, you got an echo too, Trevor. But hold on, Yuri, I'm gonna get you back on. I got a next call. I'm gonna get you guys back on.
I'm gonna hop off anyway.
All right, cool. All right. How's it going, caller? State your name and where you calling from.
Yo, it's Mike out of PA.
Salute the Mike out of PA. Let's go. What's going on, my brother? Where you stand? Where you stand? Hold on, man. Look, cause it's been a while since you called. Maybe a couple of weeks. I ain't gonna say a while. What did you think? And I forgot to get I got to ask them the question that about thriving in the playoffs, but I'm gonna get to that. Where are you on this whole Mikal Bridges, Coach Tibbs saga? What did you first think when you first saw it? And now that you probably know the news, I'm not sure. Hopefully, you know the whole story. But where were you with this whole thing? I'm curious to know.
Yeah, I didn't jump out the window like most people were doing. I think people who and you already know I'm a Tibbs hater myself. I'm an objective Tibbs hater.
Okay, I respect that. I respect that. No, I respect that because that means you give him his props when he deserves it.
Facts. So, but I think the people that dislike him unfairly, they saw that, and there was like, wolves. You know what I mean? Wolves that saw prey, and they jumped out the window when they saw that to be able to create a narrative that really wasn't there. But I never really believed that there was any beef. I just thought Mikal was saying what was apparent to everyone, what everybody's been saying. What I see that wasn't highlighted was the part where he said Tibbs gets in his own way. And now we have current players that are saying that, and we have past players that are saying that. When KG don't really got a dog in the fight. He's not from New York. He actually found success with Tibbs. So he's not like somebody who has a reason to be upset with Tom Thibodeau to say the things that he's saying, but he said similar things. Tibbs is stubborn. Tibbs does things his way. So what I will say is, although I think he gets quality out of his players, and that's why we don't really see the players complain with the minutes, at least the starters, right? And obviously we're not going to hear from the bench, but the starters, see, Tibbs is good at finding what his guys are good at and manipulating that.
Facts.
And he gets his players the bag. We got to give him his props. He gets his players.
Hey man, New York City, salute to that. That's an objective take right there. That's an objective take. Go ahead.
Yeah, he gets his players the bag, but what they're not going to complain because they're going to get that bag. So obviously they're going to do whatever they got to do out in the field. But what we have to consider is, since we know Tibbs is stuck in his ways, what we have seen throughout these seasons that he's been with us is what we are going to get. Is that going to be enough in today's game? Notice, we have to look at the teams that are finding success and the teams that are considered to be, definite playoff contenders. Are they doing what we're doing? And is what we're doing going to be successful when it comes time to go and win a chip? Because he's not going to change. We know that. Past players are saying it. New players are saying it.
Okay.
What we see is what we get. Is that going to be enough? That's a question for it.
So I know, but also I want to chime in what you're saying, and I try to answer that question as well. One of the things about it though with Coach Tibbs is, if you want him to play the bench, you got to get him players that he likes. Like that's the cheat code to get Tibbs to play.
You
That
think
so
PJ Tucker
mm,
was somebody else? You don't think that was Tibbs?
I think it's a combination of both of them, and I think PJ Tucker.
He got is because Tibbs signed.
Yeah, yeah. Because
everybody we got on the bench, Tibbs said, "I want that guy."
yeah, you know what? I agree because they kind of work together. Like, and even Dolan said it on the pod. He was saying like, you know, Leon Rose and Tibbs, they kind of move like a unison when it comes to making certain decisions. So I think that that's what Leon Rose has to do for sure, definitely for sure for next season. Get a whole bunch of guys, you know, that Tibbs likes and he was going to play. And I don't think you're going to have a problem. See, what a lot of people fail to realize, and I got on Channing Frye's head on the last live we did on Wednesday, by the way, when he tried to say that Coach Tibbs, he's getting his guys hurt because he's playing them too many minutes. That's just cap. But I think that when he has his team, right, when he has the guys that he trusts, he's not going to burn the starters out. He hasn't done it no other season. This is the first season you see 3 guys in the top 10 minutes. Right. Usually it was Brunson last year and Randall with 35.4 minutes. That was the most minutes anybody played. This year you got 3 dudes averaging 36 minutes or more. And I think that that's going to come down, even though it doesn't look like it when I pull up the NBA.com stats. But I know Mitch's minutes is going up because Towns' minutes is definitely down, which is a good thing. But we got to get OG's minutes down as well. And then now, of course, Mikal now, because Mikel's saying that he wants less minutes. But Josh Hart is somebody who don't care about minutes. And Jalen Brunson also don't care about minutes. And even Towns said he didn't care about minutes either. But no, we got to cut his minutes down because Mitch is there. So, and what was your question again? Because I want to time in on that. Yeah, the question you asked.
Yeah. So what I was saying is,
if you remember,
the style that Tom Thibodeau has, he's not going to change. The past players and the present players all saying the same thing. So are we comfortable with that understanding going into the playoffs? Do we feel that we're going to be able to match up with these teams who are playing totally different than Tibbs' style, but are finding a lot more success, especially against us?
I think that as long as the defense is right, and that's what's getting right, like the defense, we've been since Brunson has been out of the lineup, and I'm not putting it on Brunson because somebody said that, oh, it's not about Brunson, because in one of the chats, I can't remember where it was, but I'm not saying it's because of Brunson's out, that's why the defense is better. No. But we are a 5th-ranked defense since he's been out. So if the defense is going to get better, of course, on the flip side, we are 19th ranked offense too. So yeah, what do you want, defense or offense?
What teams have we been playing since Jalen Brunson has been out?
I mean, we only had 3 games, so it's a very short sample size. Right. I'm not trying to make it the biggest deal, but the Clippers, Sacramento, Portland, I'm not trying to make it the biggest deal. I'm just hoping the trend sticks, because when I look at stuff like this, I look at it in 10 games, 20 games, right? Because that's how you can see the trends emerge, right? That's why Golden State, and I'm going to get my Golden State guy. Hopefully he could come in, because we got to talk about this Warriors game tomorrow. But the Warriors is 13-3. During this stretch, they're like 3rd in offense and 4th in defense. See, that's a trend. They are for real. I lost my money, okay? They're making the playoffs. There's no way I see them falling off unless like Steph gets hurt, some crazy like that. But the bottom line is, I think that this Knicks team can have success if they defend well. And 2, like I said, the bench is healthy. You know, so I'm not really worried about guys getting overplayed. But in the playoffs, guys are going to get overplayed. Maybe not Mikal, but Josh Hart and Brunson are going to get more minutes. And I don't mind that in the playoffs, because tomorrow ain't guaranteed. We ain't saving up for the finals. We don't know. This could be our last game. So you got to give it your all every night. But hopefully coming into the postseason, these guys are well rested, right? These guys are not, fatigued because they've been playing 40 minutes during the regular season. If you're doing that, yeah, you're going to get wiped out. So I think we could have success. And also, did you see the Roommates podcast?
Not the latest one. I did see that you
gotta see it.
with James Dolan and stuff, but I have
This
to
is
watch
the
Dolan.
listen, Mike. This is the most important roommate podcast episode they ever did because no, I'm dead ass. Dolan said y'all gonna be together for a long time. This group is going to be together for a long time. All the stuff we've been, speculating and talking about on the podcast, they touched on a lot of it. And so this is year one. So Dolan is not sitting there expecting them to win a championship this year. Okay? So we could build. So winning it all this year is not everything. I mean, I would love it because I'm going to talk my talk. But this is a process, and they're committed to developing the next couple of years just to building the chemistry. Because even Brunson and Hart was saying, we got to build the chemistry, and they're building. So I think they will be fine. Especially, I have all confidence in Leon Rose next year to bring in reinforcements off the bench. I think that, we're going to make it happen. So to answer your question, I know I was kind of long-winded. Sorry about that.
Nah, you straight. So yeah, I mean, that comment could be either a gift or a curse. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah, that's just facts.
We never know what the future holds. You know what I'm saying? So.
No, that's facts. That's facts.
I like what he said, but yeah, like I said, it could be a gift or a curse with depending on what the future holds for us. But to go on to touch on a few things about what I've seen in this 3-game stretch without JB. I'm not sure if I've seen. Well, first of all, OG Anunoby is playing out of his mind.
Facts. New York City, salute to him.
He's playing completely out of his mind. Like he's making people really eat their words with the whole contract. I mean, I still say it was overpayment, but damn, man, he making it hard. So I think he's been the bulk of the reason why the defense has looked so great, and he really has carried the load on offense as well, which is crazy. But I don't really see, as a team, I don't really see an improvement defensively. When we played against the Clippers, we held them to a low, points, but they were missing. They were injured, and they're missing a lot of their some of their key players, like Powell and stuff, who's like one of their main scorers. Mm-hmm. And then the Kings as an organization and as a team, they just been in shambles for years. You know what I mean? Whenever I see the Kings, it's like a free game. You know what I'm saying? I don't really think none of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who we played last?
We played Portland.
We played Portland Blazers. And listen, y'all fans, man. Yeah, see, I could tell. So a lot of what makes the Tibbs haters look bad, y'all make me look bad. The Tibbs haters, because I'm a Tibbs hater too, but y'all be making me look bad.
Right.
I tell y'all don't watch games, man. Portland
they don't.
A great team.
Oh, that's facts.
Like
they playing good basketball.
They playing great basketball.
I can't remember their record. Players. I could pull it up. They got like a.
Not really gonna show it. You know.
No. In the last 10 games. In the last that's what I'm gonna put. I'm gonna pull that up. Man. But go ahead.
Yeah, they're a great team. I mean, even when their record didn't reflect it, in the beginning of the season, I was telling my homeboy, that kid Abdija, watch him, man.
He's nice.
I would love him on our team.
Nah, he's definitely nice.
People were like, who? You know what I'm saying? But that kid is nice, and he
if you watch basketball, you would definitely know about that dude. If you watch basketball,
you would know that's a good team. And man, Scoop. Amazing. He was playing amazing.
He's another dude. He needed another year of development, and he probably should have went to college, but that's a whole nother topic.
Yeah, so and I think even by next year, he's really going to make a name for himself on that team. I think next year it'll be even crazier. But that they have a great team. They got a great coach.
Crazy talent. Even Shaden Sharp is that dude. Oof. Nice boy.
He is nice with it. They have it's a sleeper team. They kind of remind me a little bit of Detroit a little bit.
Next year they in the playoffs. Watch.
Yeah. Next year they're in the playoffs for sure.
Oh.
So, you know, a close game with them. I really wasn't too, too mad about that. And listen, it was a great game. We gave them a lot of chances to win the game. And it
Yeah, we
wasn't
did.
even the officiating. The officiating was bad, but listen, we got calls that we shouldn't have gotten. We
That's a
got
fact.
to keep it a buck.
It went both ways.
It went both ways. The officiating went both ways. So I thought it was a fair game, right down the middle. And that's why we saw the competitiveness that we saw. But the pros that I saw, I'm gonna get to the pros, and I'm gonna cut it there because I don't want to take up all the time.
No, but you got to answer my question too. You kind of did, but I'm still gonna ask it. Get your point out. I mean, I'm asking the question after.
So the pros that I saw was the sharing of the ball with Jalen with Jalen out. The Mikal getting more shots than he's been getting in previous games. I think and Trevor kind of hit on it a little bit too. When JB's in the game, the speed of the game slows down a lot. I hate that, man. I be screaming at the TV screen when he in the game. He plays a lot of half-court offense. That's what our team is constructed to doing. JB, Josh Hart, they like moving.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I saw a lot more movement in that last game, and I saw Mikal Bridges getting more touches, and that's what we need to do. We need to. I think this might be helping us that JB's out, so JB can see it from the outside looking in and say, okay, now I know how to make these guys become more effective.
No, that's facts, and I think that now the other guys, especially Mikal, I think Mikal's going to be honestly. I still think that, we got a top 3 starting 5 in basketball because when you look at that's the only thing. But Josh Hart can put up buckets when you need him to. OG can put up buckets when you oh my God, there's no weak links on the offensive end. Now on the defensive end, I agree there might be some positional problems. But if the defense maintains itself, whether we change the starting lineup, JB gets back, we still perform at a higher level defensively. I know you say you don't see it. I thought you was gonna say the 3-point defense because teams were still lighting us up. Because one of the things was, one of the things they were saying was that Brunson is the reason why our 3-point defense is bad. He's not there, and teams are still shooting 40+% from threes. So I don't know, but besides the 3-point defense, right? I think that's still a work in progress. Our overall defense definitely has been better since I would say Mitch has gotten back, but also in the last 3 game stretch, which is the time period that we're talking about. But if we can sustain it and keep a top 5 defense like from now into the playoffs, do you believe that we can thrive? Meaning like getting to the Eastern Conference Finals is hell, and maybe even get to the finals. With the team we got now, healthy, playing better defense, the defense that we're seeing now, do you think we can thrive?
With the defense that we have now, I do not think that we can make it. And you just said it right there. And I should have been specific. Yes, it's the 3-point perimeter defense. How is every team winning games in today's NBA?
3-ball.
The biggest percentage of your defense is going to be how you can guard the perimeter. And we can't do it. We can't. Every team is using the same method to win games. Right. We cannot defend against that scheme.
Okay. I got my man in the chat too. I see you, Big Dog Talk Sports. I'm calling you next. Be ready. But go ahead.
And I'm gonna wrap it up with this. What we need to do is, you're right. With JB getting pulled out, we're still not seeing the results that we want to see. If the defense is somehow able to pick it up postseason, going into the playoffs, and we somehow we did get to see Mitch and Cat play together too, which was something different. If we're somehow able to pull our perimeter defense together, then yes, we have players that can score at any given night. If we can up that, that's all we missing. We get that, we good. But
We
yeah,
good. We great. Thank you, Mike, man. Yo, great call as always, man. I
Salute.
appreciate you calling in. And also, hopefully, you could be in the building tomorrow because we watching the Warrior game together too for the live play-by-play. So,
But yeah, I'm gonna be there.
all right, no doubt, man. Salute. This is Mike in PA, and keep the calls coming, man. 646-995-8389. I don't think I uploaded the new schedule. I gotta do that. I'm gonna do that in the studio mode in the background. But in the meantime, in between time, definitely I do want to talk to you guys about my hats. If you guys like my hats, definitely you need to go to the blog thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. I have a section on there called, well, I got more than just hats, but if you click on this section here, discounted official Knicks merch, it'll take you to all of the merch that's discounted official Knicks merch. Now, me personally, like this hat, and I'm gonna come out of research mode just so you can see the hat. This is a Z hat. So I like to wear licensed hats that's custom, right? Not just by, the regular New Era 5950. I do wear those, but this hat right here is a Z hat and it's handmade. One of my favorite like independent kind of creative people. So let me jump back into research mode. All you got to do if you want to get some hats like mine, right? Because these are my lids hat. Well, not lids hat, but these are my hats of the day. Knicks hats of the day. These are Z hats, handmade, all discounted. You just go to discounted Knicks hats, and it'll take you to the link to where you can purchase it. So be sure to go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com, and you guys can check out some of the discounted Knicks hats. This is of course the blog for the podcast as well. But I also got some cool hats on there. And mostly all the hats that I got that's on my shelf and that I own are on the website as well. So if you ever liked any of my hats, you could just go here. Like this is another independent creator here too that I was rocking with. This hat right here. These hats are like $20 and they're fire. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is by, what's it called? Ultra Game. This is by Ultra Game. So, and these are officially licensed hats too. So just had to share this with you guys. Now, Big Dog, hopefully you ready to get on the call. Yuri, I see your call. I'm gonna come back to you in a second, but I gotta get I'm gonna get my man Big Dog Talk Sports on the building on the line. So I'm coming to you right now. Let me jump out of research mode. And get them likes up, man. Hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed. Get the likes up. Go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. Check out the discounted Knicks hats. Get your hat game up, man. It's playoff time, and some of you guys be in the garden. You gotta make sure you got the fresh Knick hat on. Whether it's one of these or one of the Z hats or whatever hats you get, man. You gotta represent. So Trav, I'm calling you, or Trav, you could call me. Either way, I'm coming to you now. This is a Warrior fan, right? And he's feeling himself right now. So we gonna see what's up with Trav.
Yo.
Hey, we got Big Dog Talk Sports on the line. Former Knick fan, current Warrior fan. What's going on, man? Where we at, man? What's up, man? You flossing on me right now. You feeling good?
I'm chilling,
looking
man.
good.
I'm chilling, man. And I get nervous when people call me after 9 o'clock. I don't know if they're gonna ask for money or what. I don't know what's going on.
Well, I ain't coming. I ain't asking for no money. I'm asking for your input, man. I'm asking for your input. So how you feel about this game, this Knick game tomorrow, man? What's up, man? How you feel confident y'all gonna beat us up? Tell the truth, man. You laughing at us?
I ain't gonna say beat
okay.
them. I mean, y'all still a good team. It's not like, we still just doing our thing. I think we overall 13-2, but Jimmy was hurt. But when Jimmy's playing, I know we like 13-1 right now, but
yeah,
that you start getting cocky to think you just gonna win every game. You know what I'm saying? And plus, the Knicks is a good team, so.
But y'all might just win every goddamn game. I mean, the defense is good, the offense is good, everything is good. 3-point shooting is good. Y'all get into the free throw line more. You guys are comfortable playing in the half court now. You can't focus all your energy on Steph Curry because now the other guys, they're shooting with confidence. It's not even Jimmy Butler scoring. It's just the aura and what he brings to the table. Yeah, his presence is just like crazy. I didn't know you guys were gonna be that good. I mean, the only reason why I'm rooting against you is because I got the bet. Outside of that, I don't have any ill feelings because Steph Curry is a guy who I really respect and I hold in high regard. So I'm like, man, the Warriors is doing their thing. So on the Knicks side of things, we kind of feeling some type of way about your boy Draymond Green. All right, your man coming for Cat. Like, what's up with that? What's your thoughts on the whole Draymond Green saying Cat ducked the game and then he found out it was cancer, but he didn't apologize and he kind of doubled down and sort of instead of apologizing. What's your thoughts on that?
Hey, if you don't mean it, ain't no need to apologize. I don't believe in apologizing if you don't mean it, so
No, but he should apologize when. What do you mean when he don't mean it? What, he was joking? Like he didn't mean to say that he was ducking Jimmy Butler?
Like I'm not gonna say I'm sorry if I'm really not sorry.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the political correctness, right, of it.
Yeah.
But my thing is that, you can still be competitive, but then, give respect, the Cat. Because, if Cat drops 60 on your head tomorrow, blame him. Blame him, because there was a game early in the year, and we talked about this, I think last week or on a podcast. I said that, there was a game when we played Miami in Miami, and Towns went up against Jimmy Butler, put 44 on his head, and he didn't duck the smoke then, so why would he duck the smoke now? I thought it was inappropriate, but you what do you think? It's competitive.
I mean,
what?
He was wrong. But
okay.
Draymond, he's a butthole. So
okay. Hey, you're not a fan of Draymond, right? Because you keep talking about trading him.
Yeah, I don't trust. I tell people I don't trust him.
Okay.
Ever since you got buddy with what my boy JB called the Hurricane, you know what we talking about?
Oh, okay. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
I don't trust
the other number 23, right?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, salute to Keith Watkins in the building, a channel member in the house. Salute to you, Keith. Hopefully you doing well. And also, Nick Jack, let me see, more players getting minutes, bigger roles, but it's not good things making the lemonade stand out of limit. You know what? That's true, Nick Jack. That's why the rotation is tight. But I'm thinking right now that, Draymond Green, he's feeling himself. And, they got Jimmy Butler, who is a factor. And you can see it. He's way better than Wiggins factor-wise, right? And I think the Warriors are a real threat to a younger team, top-seeded team in the West. The defense is just too damn good. Now, what I hadn't seen anyone really do is do a good job playing you guys just man up, switching everything. I guess people are so paranoid about Steph, they sending double teams from 30 feet out to try to get the ball out of his hand, and that's dangerous because that ball is moving. You guys are also, I think, top 4 or 5 in assists. Because I'm doing my homework. I do my homework. I think
we might be number 1 in assists, aren't we?
Yeah, might be number 1 in assists since Jimmy Butler got there. So yeah, you guys are a real threat. Now, what are some of the players that Knicks fans need to look out for? I know we played y'all already one game, but what's the one player that you feel like is like underrated? He may be young, he ain't got the light right now. What's that one dude you say, yo, look out for him tomorrow, he gonna kill y'all?
Hey man, give y'all no strategy.
What?
Kevon Looney. How about that? Kevon Looney. How about that?
Nah, hell no. We know Looney. Looney's a rebound. All he do is get rebounds. Get out of here.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
He's like Elijah Wan. You know what I'm saying? Watch the Kevon Looney, man.
Cause y'all play like 12 guys. I know a guy though. I know Post. He starts now. That dude, I don't get it. He just be cooking dudes, and I'm like, yo, y'all can't deal with him, but yo, he got some game to him. I can't front on him. I really can't. Post is, yeah, he stretches the floor, boy.
It took him a little time, but you can't expect much from a second round pick. But as you see the season go along, you get more comfortable, and he's playing like
Man.
he's playing great.
Yo, listen, let me tell you something, because this is what y'all played Denver, right? Recently? Y'all played who y'all played? Was it Denver?
We just played the Kings yesterday. And Kuminga, he's back. He played great yesterday.
I saw that game. I saw that. I do my research. I saw that game, but I thought because y'all played Joker. But no, in that game too, he had because they started Valanciunas, right? So
yes.
he was cooking Valanciunas. I mean, Valanciunas couldn't do nothing with him to the point where in the second half they had to start Lyles. They had to go with a smaller lineup. That's what brought them back in the game. That's why they came back, but they still lost. But I'm hoping that Towns don't get cooked by Post because he's stretching the floor. Now of course on our side, Towns gonna stretch the floor too. But yeah, that Post dude is the one kid. I'm like, yo, who the hell is this kid? And I just didn't expect him to be that effective where, like, you really can't double the Warriors. Like, if you have to double Golden State, you're in trouble. You're cooked. Because if their center could shoot like that, it's over.
Yeah, man. And I'm not saying the Warriors about to win the championship or nothing, but this to show y'all how dangerous Steph Curry is, right? The Warriors made a trade. Jimmy Butler's a star player. But I think we all can agree Jimmy Butler is not like a Luka Doncic or
No.
Like he's not on that level, Giannis.
Yeah.
But no, Curry got Jimmy Butler on his team, and now he's averaging like 30. Like he already had like 11 points last night, but before then he averaged like 30 and 7. He played like MVP level, and Jimmy Butler on the team.
But you see, that's what it's a team. So like Steph don't got to do it. Cause look, let me tell you why Jimmy's dangerous, right? And trust me, I to me, he's a Heat, and that's the op. So I when I look at Jimmy Butler, I just think op, right? And it has nothing to do with the Warriors. He's just an op to me, right? But one thing I gotta say, because I am the objective. Yeah, no, I'm just telling the truth. I am the objective fan, so I look at things, from an objective perspective. I can't just be on some, I hate you, you suck because you're on the other team. No, Jimmy Butler, he's not a regular season 82 game killer. That's not his role. That's not his purpose. The key thing about the trade was that when they got Jimmy, that was like halfway in the season, right? More than halfway in the season, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So now, guess what? He could ramp it up from now to the playoffs, right? And then still have energy for the playoffs, and really get his rust out, because he's still getting his rust out. He's still getting comfortable playing basketball because he hasn't been playing consistently for a long stretch of time. So this is why I think the Warriors are going to be dangerous. He has big game experience. So if Steph is shooting 2 for 11, Jimmy might put up 30 to make up for the 2 for 11. And that in the playoffs is scary. Not to mention he's a good defender. He's going to guard the opposing team's best wing, right? Not to mention the intangibles, the confidence, all of that stuff that comes with the having a veteran like that. I think the Warriors y'all are the real deal. Trust me, I tried to hate on y'all because I have a bet, only because I have the bet. But boy, I'm like, there's no way this team doesn't get into the. And in fact, I could see y'all getting to the second round. I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors get to the second round, just because if you catch one of them Houston in the first round type matchups. Yeah, I think y'all beat them. I don't think they got the coaching, but the players are just too young. So Jimmy brings that X factor to the table that Wiggins could never bring, even though he was an all-star and a champion. He could never bring what Jimmy brings to the table in big game situations. And then you got the number one clutch guy in the NBA today. Steph Curry is the number one. I know we love Jalen Brunson, and this is a Knicks show, and Jalen Brunson, number-wise, was one of the top clutch people. Steph Curry could have, his stats could be last in clutch. In the playoffs, when it gets to that last shot, like what he did with Team USA, he had a terrible Olympics. But that last second of that game, that man hit all them threes. That's the danger. So if the game is close, Golden State is probably the most dangerous team in basketball because they got the best closer and probably in NBA history in Steph Curry.
Calm down. Calm down. Curry, my guy, calm down. He was doing good. He said in history. Please calm down.
We'll save that for a Big Dog Talk Sports show. But by the way, y'all, if you just joined, this is the Knicks Call Up Show. I got my man Big Dog Talk Sports in the building. He's a Warrior fan, but he was a Knicks fan back in the day. And we just talking about this upcoming Knicks Warriors game tomorrow. Feel free to call up 646-995-8389. Express your opinion, express yourself, and say what it is. So, being that you're humble, you remind me of my cousin Dusty, man. It was something about because you in North Carolina too, right?
Well, I was. I left Carolina years ago.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, you North Carolina dudes, when it comes to sports, y'all a little humble. I don't know if it's because y'all don't want to jinx your team. I don't know what it is, right? Because earlier today, right, I'm watching the Duke and North Carolina game, right? So I'm a Duke fan, right? You're a Duke fan. So I'm literally at halftime, they're up like 20 or it's like near 20, right? I send Dusty a voice note because he's North Carolina, right? I said, them Carolina boys is getting beat. I said they getting a whooped. I'm not going crazy. YouTube algorithm by some real Carolina boys, right? I texted at halftime. Do you know that he texted me back and he was like, "Hey, it is what it is, right?" Just mad humble with it, right? Not no, oh yeah, it ain't over. No, he was very humble. And guess what? Duke won by what? 2 points, 3 points. I'm like, what the hell is 1 point? Three. Either way, it was down to the last seconds, right? So it's something about you guys. You guys are kind of, he was a little wacky with the Panthers though. Like he was like, oh, the Panthers is winning the Super Bowl every year for like 4 years when Cam Newton was at the top of his game. Yeah, crazy stuff. But outside of that, just very humble with it, and I could respect that. I feel like you guys are spoiled with championships too. Like you guys already won, like
You gotta calm down, man. Like. You know what I'm saying? People start jumping off the deep end. Like, when Jokic got the championship and the MVP, oh, man, he's the greatest offensive player of all time. It's like, relax.
Well, who said that? That's a relax.
You know how the media be doing, man.
Yeah.
It's like Anthony Edwards. He's 88 Michael Jordan. Calm down.
Yeah, we got to stop that. Yeah.
Calm down. I remember Stephen A. Smith, Donovan Mitchell was on the Jazz talking about, he's the greatest Utah Jazz player ever, bro.
Oh no, yeah. Who said that?
Stephen A. Smith.
No, he got to stop.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because he's too old. Nah, he's too old to say that. Come on. He's not even up there with John Stockton, bro. What John Stockton did in Utah, you definitely got to relax.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this be coming off the defense, like, bro, he's doing great. Just chill.
Keith says Jimmy will have a lot left in the tank come playoff time. He didn't play hard at all in Miami. That's a fact. Keith said Duke fan. That may be the only thing I don't respect about you. Hey man, look, Keith, man, I'm pretty sure Keith, you know the story. He was joking though. He's joking. But Keith, I'm pretty sure you know the story that the bald head guy in Chicago made me a Duke fan. Just for all you guys that's like getting on me for Duke, the bald headed guy out of Chicago, he made me a Duke fan. I thought Grant Hill was going to be better than Jordan. So I asked everybody what school he went to because I wasn't watching college basketball at that time. They say, he went to Duke. I said, I'm a Duke fan. That's literally how I became a Duke fan. I never even watched Grant Hill play at Duke when he was there.
Time out.
Facts.
You thought it was going to be better than Michael Jordan?
Man, listen. It started with Grant Hill. That failed. Then I went to Kobe. That failed. Then that was it for me. Yeah, that was it. Once Kobe didn't do it, I was done.
I wouldn't even say it was a fail because like Kobe was right there.
No, Kobe was great. No, okay, you're right.
He was right
I shouldn't say fail. It's just that. All right, so the last time I was a real Kobe fan, I mean, I always admired Kobe, but I was a Kobe fan probably at 2003, like right after the championship. Like, and the only reason why I hopped off the I'm not gonna say hopped off the bandwagon because I'm a Knicks fan always. But the reason why I kind of fell back off of Kobe was because, like, Jordan people, they were killing me at the time saying, well, Jordan never had a Shaq. So I was like, damn, I gotta let it go. They was just killing me with that. Because I was like, I had the afro with like Kobe and everything, bro. I was a Kobe dude, bro. Like, trust me, I was that's the only jersey. Listen, I only wear New York jerseys. I don't wear no other team jersey. I never did. You never will catch me with a Clippers jersey for fashion. Because, New York at the time, especially in them days, we fashion, we wear anything because we just want to match in colors. Dude, I only wear New York stuff. Kobe is the only jersey I ever had that was in New York.
That's Kobe,
the
man.
only That's the only jersey. The only jersey. So, yeah. It's the bald-headed guys out of Chicago's fault. Blame him. And he went to North Carolina. Add that to it, too. But go ahead.
The Jordan fans, and I'm a Jordan fan, but a lot of Jordan fans, they got to stop, too, man. That Kobe had Shaq. You don't ever think, Shaq had Kobe?
No, good point. But I'm saying at the time, though. At the time, that's what I'm really talking about. Not now, so to speak, but at the time, when I was talking about Kobe over Jordan, they was like, nah, but he had Shaq. And I said, damn, I had to come off of it. And remember, I'm a Knicks fan too, so I can't really go all the way hard. I couldn't go because I wasn't coming off the Knicks to go to be no Laker fan. I wasn't doing that, but because I'm just a New York dude, so through and through. So the only team I root for that's not New York is Duke. That's just straight facts. But so tomorrow, who you got? Who's winning the game? You get the Warriors gonna kill us, right?
I say about 10 points. We're at home. I ain't gonna say kill. I think it'll be a good game. Enjoy it, Eat some nachos.
No grounds, man. Okay.
I don't think it's blowout. Because one thing about the Warriors, we'll get a big lead, and then we'll let them come back. You know what I'm saying? That's what.
Yeah. See, that can really haunt you in the playoffs. Especially if you're going to get a team like OKC. Because once OKC gets rolling, and especially if they turning you over, you lost the game. If OKC's turning you over, and that's the reason why they came back, and the turnover is going to continue. Like the way they force turnovers, one of the best teams I've seen force turnovers like that. The ball just ends up in their hand. You dribbling the ball. Next thing you know, one of them Williams boys or Joe, they got the steal. And you're like, how the hell did they get the steal? It's just the way they play defense is crazy. But I think that the game tomorrow, it's all on Cat. I think tomorrow Cat is the X factor. If Cat is going to be a humble Cat, and get his 22, 23, 14, 15 rebounds, which is great. If that's all he's going to settle with, we're not going to win the game. If Cat is putting up 40 and 50, yeah, it's over. Because that's the one weak link the Warriors has is the interior defense and just dealing with big men, right, on the defensive side. That's the only real weakness I think the Warriors have. I know you got the hacker Draymond, Mr. Hacker, but he can't guard no fives. He does a decent job, but if Towns is on one, it's nothing the Warriors are going to be able to do. But then Steph can be on one too. But the only difference is we got guys that I'm not going to say that can defend Steph. I'm going to say we got guys that are good perimeter defenders that can really make Steph's life really difficult. While on the flip side, y'all don't got no one guy that can even get a good hand up on Towns from the 3-point line, right? And you guys are going to have to blitz and help defense and all that stuff. And then we also got shooters too. We still a top 6 team in 3-point percentage. So if you got a double team Cat, that ball going to swing around, and we got a whole bunch of shooters out there that shoot really well. So I think that it's all on Cat, and I think the Knicks could win the game. But without Jalen Brunson, it's going to be tough, especially if Steph Curry's cooking. Because Steph Curry, he can be 0 for 10. He'll be what, 10 for 20? You better believe it. If he's 0 for 10. He's going to be 10 for 20 when the game's over or going into the fourth quarter. That's just Steph. That's what my concern is really my only concern is Steph, not Jimmy. Because Jimmy, he kills us. He definitely does kill us. But once again, like I said, we got guys that can, make his life difficult defending wise. But his defense concerns me because Jimmy has the capability to take a Mikal Bridges out of the game, right? He has the capability to take a OG out of the game. But will he do that? I don't know. And the Warriors get it done really with it's the team defense. It's not individual defense. So and like I said, the only glaring weakness to me with the Golden State is the paint. So it depends.
Man, why you keep talking about Anthony Towns like he's Spencer Haywood or something? Like he cool, bro. He all right.
Who's talking about him like that?
You talking about him like he like the 82 Moses Malone or something, man. Carl Anthony Towns got 50 on you, bro. He all right, man.
So you saying that Towns can't drop 50 on you? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, you talk about it, man, like he's Moses Malone, bro. He all right, bro.
That's the best shooting big man in NBA history.
Please stop.
What are you talking about?
Please stop saying that.
From three ball, he's the best. From three ball, he's the best.
No.
So who's from three ball? Who's better than him?
I think Dirk.
Nah, the numbers. I already did a show on that. I did a 2-hour show on that. We went through all the numbers. Dirk shot well, but he's not. Towns is a way better shooter. He's the best. Like when you add career, like see, look at perfect example. Look at this year, right? This year, Jokic is leading the league in threes, right? But Towns is always in the top 5 every year. So even when he doesn't, it's like Steph. Steph don't lead the league in 3-point percentage every year. He don't even lead the league in the most 3-point attempts and makes every year. But he's still the best of all time. Towns is the same way. If you look at all the, if you go back the last 6-7 years, how many years you want to go back, you're going to see Towns is in the top 4 or top 10 every year. Even the years where he's not having a good year. Jokic never did that, right? Embiid never did that. These guys knock down threes, and Jokic is shooting phenomenal. But, he hasn't done it for the stretch of time that Towns has done it. That's why Towns is regarded as the best 3-point shooting big man of all time. And he shot more threes than Dirk, too. Not to put Dirk down in that regard, because Dirk played in a different era where people that wasn't shooting threes like how they shoot today.
Say, you can't just look at stats, man. You got to look at the game. You got to
look at the game.
It's like people think Kobe Bryant was inefficient. It's like, bro, he played in probably the most defensive era in basketball history. And
that is the toughest. Yep.
But people go back and he's inefficient. Like Dirk is the greatest shooting big man of all time, man.
No, he's not. Not percent. Now forget makes and stuff like that, but percentage wise, no, that's not true. Towns is the best percentage wise. I don't feel like pulling it up. I did it already. If you want to see that, go look at a level-headed Knicks talk from months ago. I did that.
Anthony Towns, his percentage would be higher.
If say that again.
If Dirk in his prime played in the same time with Carl Anthony Towns, his percentage will be probably the same or higher.
Okay, and if the Knicks didn't get hurt, if Ewan didn't get hurt in '98, Knicks win the championship. What are we talking about? If it's a fifth, we could say whatever we want.
Man, that's what I was gonna say. Can't you just say? Like people go back and look at the stats and say, "Oh man, Devin Booker was as great a scorer as Kobe Bryant." Like, no, he's not. It's just because the numbers say he is, no, he's not. Like, you watch basketball, he's not.
No, I get what you. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I'm just saying about percentage wise, straight 3-point percentage, knocking down the three, taking threes, because an argument could be made like, okay, your percentage is better than mine because you shoot less than me. It's the inverse for Towns. He shoots more and his percentage is better. That's why he's the best 3-point shooting big man of all times. Now, will he stay like that for years? Go ahead. We say it again.
Well, less defense though.
Whose fault is that? But Dirk didn't. So hold on, Dirk didn't have really defense that could guard him too, especially from the 3-point line. Them big guys. You think the big guys today is terrible at 3-point defense? Them dudes in the early 2000s was not defending the 3-ball either. Them big guys in the early.
So Carl Anthony Towns a better 3-point shooter than Larry Bird?
Larry Bird is not really a 7-footer though. We talking about 7-footer. Like, yes, Larry Bird was like 6'10". He was a big guy, but he ain't a 7-footer. Like,
general, I'm saying just in general.
I think so. Hold on, I think so. I mean, I don't.
All right, y'all hear this?
Hold on, No, I'm talking about percentage wise. Hold on. Let me pull up the percentage. I might listen. Right, Larry Bird overall is a better shooter than Towns. I'm talking about this 3-ball. I'm not talking about everywhere else on the floor. But hold on, I'm gonna go into research mode. Let me go into research mode because we want to big up Larry Bird.
The numbers, man. That's what I'm trying to say.
We want to big up the great Larry Bird. He shot 37% from 3 points in his career. Towns is shooting over 40% for his career. We gotta, like, if you're gonna look at numbers, we gotta really like we can't just say what we want because it sounds great. Like, Larry Bird is a great player. Larry Bird is a way better player than Towns. That's not the debate, right? Larry Bird probably overall, like, if you add the field, right, he's probably a better shooter than Towns too, because Towns don't shoot as much field, like, 2-point, like mid-range 2-point shots. So Bird, I'm gonna give him that. I don't even care what the field goal percentage say. I'm not even looking at that. I got his numbers up there, right? Bird is shooting 37% from 3 for his career, right? He does have some 40% seasons, but at the same time, for his career, he's 37%.
But
right?
the point
Towns.
is, like, people say numbers don't lie, but I say numbers don't tell the whole story. Like, you just can't go just look at the field goal percentage like, oh, he's the better shooter.
But it's hard to argue. No, you're right. But it's hard to argue, right, when guys are shooting less threes. Like, Bird's greatest year when he shot threes was 3.3. If Towns shot 3.3 threes a game, like, any year, that would probably be amongst his worst year. Towns is shooting more threes at a better percentage. That means he's a better shooter, right? I'm not gonna take away from your greatness because you're shooting less. Like, if Bird was shooting a higher percentage than Towns or the same percentage, I would probably say, okay, they're probably even. But Towns is shooting a greater percentage and he's shooting more threes. That's what makes him the best 3-point shooting big man. He's the only big man to win the skills competition and the 3-point competition. The brother he's very skilled and very talented, right?
No,
is he?
I'm not saying that. I just don't think he's better shooting than Dirk.
I mean, I already did this show already. I hate to go back in time, but Dirk is a great shooter too. I'm not trying to take away from Dirk. These guys are all great players. I'm not here to pull anybody down, but Dirk shot 38% from 3 for his career, which is really impressive, but it's still not on the level of Karl-Anthony Towns, right? He played more years than Towns, right? I think Nowitzki only had a couple of years where he shot 40% from 3, which is fine, right? Towns he's averaging 40% for his career. Like, that's not 1 year or 2 year or 3 years. That's his career of 40%. I don't think no other big man is doing that. In fact, I know no other big man is doing that because before Towns came, it was Dirk, right? Now we got Towns. Towns is shooting 42% from 3 for his career. 42% for his career. 40% for his career. 42 on the season. My bad, I had it mixed up. Either way, 40% for his career and 42% this year. Towns is in the top 5 in 3-point shooting percentage for big men every single year. Or top 10. If he's not top 5, he's top 10. He's in the tops every year. 42%, 41%. Then he had a bad year, 37%, but he only played 29 games. 41%, 39%, 41%, 40%, 42%. This boy is an assassin out there, B. No one else has numbers like that, bro. I'm sorry, man. I didn't want to do this because I already did a show breaking this down. But
I still think Dirk was shooting, but
I wasn't even sharing the screen. My bad, y'all. I didn't even have the screen up there. Hold on. Just to show you I'm not capping. This is Towns. He shoots 40%, right? I forgot because I'm still in studio mode. And then this is Dirk Nowitzki, 38%, just so they can see I'm not capping. See that, y'all? See that? And then Larry Bird, 37%. So how can I say these guys are better than Towns when he's shooting more threes than these guys and he's shooting a better percentage? That's the argument. Okay, cool. I'm backing out of there.
I feel you.
Yeah. Listen, man, you're entitled to your opinion, though. I get why you're saying it.
Like, he's great. So I ain't trying to say he ain't a great 3-point shooter, but I don't
No, I get you. I got you because you saw Dirk and you just appreciate what Dirk did a little bit more. I don't got a problem with that. I don't got a problem with that. Because if you said Dirk,
but it's all good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a young boy that's gonna come up and he gonna be shooting 42% for his career, and we gonna be like, man, he's shooting better than like. So I'm not saying Towns is gonna always be that, but right now I'm riding for the big bodega, man. Any final words you want to say about tomorrow? I'm definitely gonna be calling you. I'm letting you know while the halftime, we're gonna be checking in, and you can laugh at me, I can laugh at you, depending on whose team is winning. So let me know.
Look, man, I got the Knicks winning by like 12 points tomorrow.
Nah, don't do that. Nope. I don't want no jinx.
I meant to say the Warriors.
Yeah, thank you. Warriors. Okay.
The Warriors going to win by like 12 points tomorrow.
There you go.
Down. He going to disappoint y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna be disappointed. What happened to Carl Anthony Towns? Why he playing soft? Now I'm just gonna come up here and say, well, he's scared of Draymond Green.
Okay, I can live with that. Let's do it like that. Yeah, I want that energy tomorrow because I feel like he gonna drop like 40 on y'all. Maybe not 50. 50 is a lot, but he could very well drop 40 on you.
He gonna get it in garbage. He gonna get his points in garbage moments and garbage time.
Okay, all right, man. All right. I hear you, brother, man. I'm gonna get back to you, man. Salute to you. Thanks for coming up, man. I appreciate the call, man. Salute to you.
Hey, salute to everybody, man.
All right. Oh, by the way, check out Big Dog Talk Sports. Check out his channel. Put something in the chat so they know it's you. And go subscribe. He talks about sports, all sports. Though he do talk a lot of NBA. So definitely go check him out. All right.
The Nuggets beat the Lakers, by the way, 131.
Oh. Well, we knew that because they ain't got LeBron, so that's not even fair.
Luka played. Neither one of them played.
Yeah. So that's not fair. That's like beating up a little baby without his mama there. That's just not. Come on. But all right, man. Salute. All right. So that was Big Dog Talk Sports. Yuri, I'm gonna get back to you in a second. I do want to let you guys know about the upcoming program. Tomorrow we'll be watching the Warriors game together. I will be doing the live play-by-plays. 8:30 sharp. Be here. Tell a friend. So we ain't gotta watch the game on national TV, man. So I need you guys to show up because and it's not even the commentators during the game. Most of those guys do the great job. I love Stan Van Gundy. I think he's one of the best at it. But it's really the halftime crew, guys. Oh my God. On all the networks, the halftime crew, they just make me sick. So watch the game with me. And I'm gonna do the commentary. I'm gonna have all the stats and facts ready. And of course, Sunday, I got a members only show. By the way, if you are a subscriber, consider becoming a member. One of the perks is getting members only live stream. I will be doing a members only live stream this Sunday. Starting the parlay Sundays around 11:30 noon. Be on the lookout for that if you are a channel member. And basically, we're gonna just be making these parlays, man. Let's hit these picks together. We're gonna try to put together a couple of parlays and see if we can make some money. So that's gonna be Sunday at noon. And then this week inside the New York Knicks, the podcast on Mondays have moved from 6 p.m. to noon. So that's the big change because I had to make some changes in my schedule. So now the podcast will take place Mondays at noon, and then Thursday, really Wednesday night, but it's Thursday technically. We got the midnight stream, the after midnight stream at 12:30 p.m. Most of the time, those shows are members only shows, but recently I've been opening it up to the public. So depending on the news and the vibe, be there Thursday. But you should also grab yourself a membership too, just in case I do decide to make it a member show. But that's the upcoming programming. I had to share that. Oh, by the way, also some of your comments. I mean, you had some good comments in there. We was talking about this Warrior Knicks stuff. Keith Watkins says the 2025. He said to Knicks will be chance 25-26. He was responding to him. Detroit is a worse matchup for us. I do want to touch on Detroit. Detroit is the real deal, y'all. I was doing some research, and I accidentally stumbled on the Detroit Pistons. And I was like, man, in the last, because I was looking up let me see if I get on the screen for y'all. I was looking up at Warriors information, right? And then I stumbled on the Pistons. I'm like, wait a minute, the Pistons is playing like that? How? So hold on, I'm gonna jump back into research mode real quickly. And let me get Yuri. Yuri, I got you on the line. Just sit tight. I wanna show the people something about Detroit. So just sit tight. Sorry I didn't get you on earlier. But let me show the people this. I want to show y'all something that I discovered about Detroit that kind of got me a little not shook because I'm never shook, but it's a little interesting. I'm gonna say that I'm still learning how to navigate NBA.com. I feel like it's just mad
It's the worst
confusing.
site to ever navigate. Don't worry about
Yeah,
it.
it's terrible. But if you look at like the last, I'm just gonna put like 15 games,
Yeah,
right?
last 15.
Detroit is 11-4. They're one of the better teams in basketball, performance-wise. Wins. I'm like, damn, how's Detroit doing this? And they're doing it at an important time because this is right before postseason.
But here's the thing, though, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Once you hit the playoffs, that's a whole different beast. I'm not trying to say Detroit's
No,
good.
it's a whole different. No, that's a fact. It's a different monster. But I'm just saying they're playing well at a time where, because look at the other teams that's here. You got Cleveland, Golden State,
Boston,
right?
OKC.
Got Boston, OKC. These are like teams that we expect to be contenders or good, or like even Golden State is a veteran team that's figuring it out. They made a trade, right? Denver Nuggets, same thing, veteran team figuring it out. To see Detroit up there with these teams, it's definitely eye opening. I will say
they're
that.
Gritty.
They're gritty. Yeah, they're gritty. They're gritty. So just to comment on Keith, because he was saying he thinks they're a worse matchup for us.
No,
and I'm like,
they're not.
I don't think so either. I think we're gonna take Detroit and gentleman sweep. Gentleman sweep.
I will say, do not be surprised if Detroit gives us a run for our money. I've been telling people that they think
They can make it competitive. They can make it competitive. I don't think they could win the series though.
I think the Knicks will win that series, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little upset. That's how good they are.
Hold on, Yuri. We got another call. I'm gonna keep you on this. I think this is my man Keith. Hold on. Sit tight, Yuri. Hey, what's your name and where you calling from?
This is Keith.
Hey, let's go. Let's merge the calls in. Hey, Keith. So turn on your background. What's going on, Keith?
I just did. I just realized I turned.
Keith, it's good to hear from you, brother.
Let's go.
Yuri, how you doing, man?
Good. You missed it. I had a minutes police conversation with Trevor. Salute to Trevor.
Oh Lord. Oh boy. I'm sure. I just got in a little while ago. I'm sure that was eventful.
Yeah. It was.
I'll replay gang that one. I'm sure that was
probably the best thing. It was probably the best thing on the show. But I actually wanted to touch on a few things. The free agency, even though it's a few months away, I hate to bring it up because the season's not over. My prediction is campaign's gonna walk. Preston Stewart is gonna walk.
Oh yeah, I agree with both of those.
I think because the reason being is that
Preston's gonna go somewhere because he's gonna want more playing time. He's
yeah, no. With back now, I think that's gonna seal. I think that Preston stops playing. And you know what? I'm the kind of guy. Once a Knick, always a Knick, right? That even goes for Jericho Sims because I wasn't high on Jericho Sims this year. You know, I thought he was gonna make a turnaround. He just couldn't. But he's balling in Milwaukee, so. Let's do a salute to Jericho Sims and give him his props for even balling in Milwaukee. I think that deserves it. You know, because you want to know why? Once the Knick, always the next. That even goes for Jericho Sims. He's doing really good.
Of course.
I was one of the few guys that didn't really see a reason to get rid of him because out of all of his faults with his stone hands, the couple of things that he did pretty well was protect the rim and hustle. He can shoot. No offense, but he definitely could protect the rim.
So I was annoyed with that trade. That was one of those trades I was annoyed with. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is. We got Mitch Robb back, and I'd rather have Mitch Robb back because now his offense is being utilized. You know what I mean? We see him going up for shots and the free throws.
He's what, like 3 for 4? He's like 3 for 4 so far?
Yeah, he's 4 for 5.
4 for 5, okay. I knew he had missed one. So that's way better than what anybody would expect from Mitch.
Because honestly, and shout out to Mitch too, because we were all waiting for him to return. The defense is literally, when he's on the floor, we're like literally the second best defense in the team.
Yeah, it's night and day with him on there.
So my question now is, do you change the starting lineup come playoff time? Do you do the double big lineup? And I say no, you don't. This is the best starting lineup that we've had in a while. But Does it suck when Cat's on the floor? Yes, it's night and day. There's no doubt about that. But if you're Tibbs right now, I'm saying to yourself, I might have to change the starting lineup for the playoffs.
Well, you just said the key factor, Tibbs. Let's think about who we have as coach here. Tibbs doesn't sugarcoat anything. If anybody thinks he was just filling words to be filling words when he said that we've been down our starting center for the whole year, then you're crazy. He's absolutely wanted Mitch as the starting center all year. I mean, Minnesota was putrid defensively with Cat. I mean, it's been proven he's not the answer as far as he's only going to a certain point.
They're 40 and 32.
Although I think our ceiling is higher with Cat on the team.
I
don't think it's higher with him at center. I think we can still run a very good offense with Mitch in there. And let me clear something up before I lose this train of thought, because the main
get it out.
I don't think that we will lose to Indiana, Milwaukee, or Detroit. I don't think any of them will beat us. I just think out of those three teams, the one that's going to give us the hardest time, the one that, 4 or 5 minutes to go, we still got the starters in there because it's a 3-point game, would be Detroit. I don't think any of them will beat us. But the team that's going to give us the most work, potentially the most minutes on our starters, potentially the most games to be played in the first round, I think if those are the options, I'm saying I'd rather avoid Detroit. I think we sweep Indiana, period, point blank. I think we sweep Indiana healthy, period. And I don't think Milwaukee gets more than a game off us, but I could see us going 6 or 7 playing Detroit because they don't know no better.
Well, I if I could respond to the Detroit point, I agree with everything you said except that. I think Milwaukee poses the greatest risk to anybody because, like, in terms of the bottom seeds, because they got Giannis, and I'm telling you right now, if Giannis and Dame if they become a little bit more cohesive and run more pick and roll, boy, it's a nightmare to stop. But Giannis, a healthy Giannis, because remember, that's what really the real reason why they've been getting bumped. It had nothing to do with coaching, and they let all their coaches go. It's just that they never get healthy down the stretch. So that's the only thing I disagree with. Is I think that I'm kind of the opposite with you. I think that we would gentlemen sweep the Pistons because I think they're just too young. But I think that the Bucks might take you 7 games. You better hope the Bucks don't slide. Not that we can't beat them, right? Because I don't think they'll beat us. But it's still a fight to get in the first round. But I would like the fight because now we was in a dog fight with Giannis going into a Celtics series. I think that would make us a little bit more battle tested. So it could go either way. You feel what I'm saying? But that's the only thing I would say I disagree with.
I just think there's only a few teams that play worse defense than us with Cat at center, and one of those teams is Milwaukee.
Oh yeah, defensive wise, yes. Defensive wise, they're fool especially on the perimeter. Definitely fool, especially with Kyle Kuzma out there. Yeah, right. Yeah, they ain't defending nobody.
All he did was give them more offense.
Keith, I want your take because we probably went through this conversation with so many callers. What was your take on the whole Mikal Bridges Tibbs drama or fiasco? What's your take?
I feel the same way I felt because I think we had this kind of talk about when Hart said mentioned the comment about players can't be selfish and whatever he said in the moment there. Like then, I just wish it stayed in house. Me personally, I think it's something that we don't need to hear about. Let them talk about that and figure all that out in the locker room. And remember, you're talking to a Knicks fan that's been a Knicks fan since 1983, before Patrick Ewing.
Lose to that right there.
13 years old, watching the Knicks on tape delay. So I've seen we've been the butt of jokes in TV screens, movies, comedy shows. We've been the butt of jokes for decades. So in my opinion, as maybe a Knicks fan with long-term PTSD, the little ammunition and fodder we give to the media to start talking more crap about us, the better. Just keep that stuff in-house and figure it out there. Don't let the media have something to chew on.
Yeah, no, I said the same thing. This should have stayed in-house, but I understand why it got out to the media the way it did. Because let's be honest here, whether we like to admit it or not, Tibbs has had this narrative about him since.
Yeah, but you don't think it was a setup either? I feel as though the
it was a
media's been
setup.
waiting for a time to set up one of the players with that loaded ass question to begin with.
But hold on, Keith. Let me hold on. I gotta chime in real quickly. The Josh Hart was nothing to it. First off, Josh Hart said that he wasn't talking about no player in particular. The problem is the writers came and tried to make it allude. They try to allude to like it was somebody else on the team. Because I actually covered it on the podcast, and I said, "Yo, I think it's just nothing. I think that it's a Coach Tibb rhetoric, because that's something Coach Tibb would say. Oh, we got to sacrifice and egos." I'm like, that's not even Josh Hart. He's listening to Coach Tibbs, and Coach Tibbs' coaching is actually seeping through him. So I knew when Josh Hart said that, because he later clarified he wasn't talking about nobody. It was just inspirational sports speech. Now, this whole Bridges situation, like I said, I'm not trying to disparage nobody because I don't have to do that. My content is pretty good by itself. But at the same time, we got to call out the facts. Stephon Bondi put the story out, and he made it seem way different, like Mikal went to go to Coach Tibbs to talk to him about minutes. No, he was asked, did you talk to Coach Tibbs about the minutes? In which Mikal said, yes. But it wasn't like I pulled him to the side to have a conversation. So that's why when Tibbs gets up there and they ask him about it, Tibbs is like, no, there's no conversation. Not as a response to Mikal, it's a response to the media, because if you watch Roommate's podcast, Coach Tibbs says he just doesn't like when people talk about the men. He thinks it's stupid. He thinks you guys don't know basketball. So that was the energy. It was not for Mikal. So they're trying to like make stuff up to make us beef, but there is no beef.
No, and I don't think there is. I don't think any of it was a big deal. I just wish I hadn't gotten out, because all it does is give these guys something to run with. Gives the Shaq and
now you're right,
Charles Barkley stupid
stuff to
talk about on TNT, and the Candace Parkers of the world that don't watch 5 minutes of New York Knicks basketball, but get up on national TV and start spewing crap that they have no idea what they're talking about. So from that standpoint, that's what I mean. I think it's a big nothing burger myself, but
facts.
The BSPNs and the TNT crew
Let's
is going
go
to run with it for the next 3 weeks, and that's what we're going to hear about. The next game we get on TV, all we're going to hear about pregame is this crap. All we're going to hear about halftime is this crap. All we're going to hear about, like, God knows, let it be a tough game, and OG plays 38 minutes. The whole post game is going to be talking about that, not the game.
Now let me tell you something.
There you go, and that's what's going to happen tomorrow. Go ahead.
I feel like the convo needed to happen, though. And they did have the convo before the Portland game. They did have it before the Portland game, which I'm glad they did. I'm glad they were able to sort it out or whatever the convo they had. But let's just be real here. I do wish Tibbs did play the bench a bit more. Just a bit.
That's a good point. Good point.
That's the only point I have. But the way they kept silence that night with a game winner was beautiful. I'm still watching that game winner even today. That was amazing what he did. And I'm happy
I agree with your statement up until a point, because I still say in December, when we had a month worth of organized scrimmages with a fresh starting five, basically, we needed as many minutes to get some continuity as possible. Come playoff time, when we're running up against the Celtics and Cleveland and all these guys that have been playing together for years, and we start fumbling the ball because, JB's expecting a cut and this guy is fading to the center or whatever, that's when all that stuff makes makes a big difference. And if you watch the Roommates podcast, they all mentioned that, and Dolan himself even mentioned it. This is the team. for the next 5 years or so. This is the team. So we
never
need to
get
get
Yes.
as much playing time with that team as possible so we can knock off some of these bigger teams.
And they're going to get better
But
and better.
I do think he could. There's no excuse. Up 20, 5 minutes to go, and we still have all the starters in. We don't have any bench players in.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest
You know,
because
that's hard to defend.
that's hard to debate, and I agree. You should pull the starters out when you're up 20 with 5 minutes left, because there's no way.
At least a couple of them.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
Pull out 3. Pull out 3.
Yeah, I mean, but that's it. Pull out somebody. Don't have the entire starting 5 out there. Up 20, going away.
I will say
It sucks though when we're up 20. We let we put everybody in, and then in 2 minutes we're up 8, and he's got to bring the starters back in. That's happened twice this season.
And let me tell you
Yeah.
something. That's not Tibbs' fault. That is not Tibbs' fault.
No,
Because
but it don't help him to not be gun shy.
yeah, no, I agree.
Remember also
That's
the
all I
T-Mac
meant.
situation.
It doesn't help him to
the-
put those guys in when he puts them in, and they give up a 12-0 run in less than 2 minutes.
Right, because that's the whole T-Mac thing. Like, he's still scarred behind that. And I think that, you know, the bench
Imagine
is
how bad
finally
he'd be if
healthy.
he lost that game.
Crazy. Exactly. But the bench is healthy, right? We only had a full team for like a game. How many games was it? No, Mitch played a couple of games when Brunson was there. So we had a healthy team. But even still, I think didn't Deuce or somebody miss? Either way,
Bruce missed a lot of games.
hopefully
Hart missed one of the games.
Well, Hart, right, there you go. So either way, when Brunson gets back, we should have the most complete team. It's going to be at that point where I think when, you know, you got a 20-point lead, you're going to start to see, you know, Deuce out there with Shamit, because now these are the guys that he trusts. And I said Shamit. I don't even want Shamit out there, but he more than likely will be out there. But Shamit, you know, Mitchell Robinson, if he decides to keep Mitch out there, but maybe Precious would get put in there. Bottom line is he has a better bench guys to close out game, because I remember on one of the Knicks and 10 shows, we was looking at plus minus, and the bench had the worst plus minus in history. I'm talking about like minus 30, minus 25. And it's because they're getting outplayed in garbage time because they're not getting enough time. So they get that thrown out there, and then now a team goes up 10. That hurts their plus minus. So, you know, I think that going forward, we're going to be better. Like, I think the bench is not even an issue. But I do got a question for you guys.
Yeah, what's up? What's the question?
With the defense being, you know, improved, right? According to, you know, a lot of pundits, and I'll actually pull the numbers up. The Knicks right now have the 5th ranked defense after Brunson went down, right? And I know it's a very short sample size.
We're going JR. We're going there.
Yeah. I have to ask the question, and I think I did a poll. Yeah, I did do the poll on this earlier. So if the defense were to sustain itself, not that it's Jalen Brunson's fault, because I don't think it's Jalen Brunson's fault, but if the defense, Brunson gets back and the defense stays this good or on a top 10 level, do the Knicks have what it takes to thrive in the postseason? And when I say thrive, I mean Eastern Conference Finals or Finals.
Yes.
Keith, go first.
Go for
I'm
it.
sorry, I wasn't trying to butt in. I was just speaking as you were talking. But Yuri,
No, go ahead. Nah. Okay, Yuri, go ahead.
Both said yes at the same time. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay. So give your take if you want. Why is it a yes?
Yuri, you want to go first?
You go first, Keith.
I say yes under certain kind of conditions. Me, myself, I still, and I think Tibbs is going to eventually do this to the behest of a lot of people. I think come playoff, Mitch is in the starting lineup. I don't think it affects Josh Hart's playing time whatsoever. I think Josh still averages his 36 minutes. He just like he was when he was getting 36 minutes coming off the bench before he was forced to start. Tibbs is defense first. He loves the way the offense is playing right now, but we all know a leopard is not going to change his spots, and not over one shiny new toy when that shiny new toy scores 20 and gives up 25. So I think come playoffs, we got 2 7-footers out there. We give up a little bit on the offense, but people forget we had a top 5 offense with the worst shooting team in the history of professional basketball because Mitch is such a beast on the offensive boards. So the little we give up as far as a pretty offense and the 5-out offense, the little that we're going to give up offensively on that is more than going to be compensated for the rim protection. And now you see it when he's in the game. We actually run guys off the 3-point line. We got guys closing out now, running guys off the 3-point line and making them drive. And when they go to the rim or to the paint now, you're seeing a whole lot different results with Mitch back there than you were seeing with Cat back there. I just think it's coming, guys. And I don't think Mitch plays 30 minutes a game, but I do think Mitch starts the game. And I do think Mitch ends up, come playoff time, getting 26, 27 minutes a game. I don't know that he finishes all games. It may be one of those scenario that we've been seeing, the offense for defense moves, to end the game, which I think is brilliant for Tibbs to utilize it like that. But to start the game off with a little bit better defense, so we're not giving up 30 points a game first quarter every freaking time we're playing one of the contenders. We're giving up 40 points in the first quarter. That wouldn't hurt.
So real quickly before you go, I got on the screen, just so I can show the people, we actually moved up from number 5 to number 4 in defensive rating. I guess somebody dropped off, maybe Detroit. I'm not sure who dropped off, but we're now the 4th ranked since Brunson has been down. But our offense is 19. We're 19th in offensive rating. And go ahead, Yuri. I'm gonna let you go, then I'm gonna respond to what Keith said and to what you said. Go ahead, Yuri, if you want to chime in.
I would like to say yes to them making the Eastern Conference Finals. The reason why I say that is because even though Jalen's going to be playing now, right? It's going to be Jalen playing. I do believe that the defense will stay the same because now not only are you going to have Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, and Josh Hart on the floor, you're going to have Karl Anthony Towns. You're also going to have Mitch on the lineup. That defense will make you're going to shadow cat everything. And
but you said Josh Hart starting?
I don't see Josh Hart starting. I think Josh Hart.
Oh, okay. No, I was just trying to get you starting lineup. I just wasn't sure if Josh was starting. Go ahead.
What would the starting lineup even be with Josh Hart? Or what would the starting lineup be?
No. Josh would go into the bench. He going to the bench.
So who's going to be the 3?
It's going to be OG and Mikal with Brunson, Mitch, and Towns.
OG is really a 3 anyway. OG's not a 4. He's playing 4. OG's not a 4.
Right.
He's playing at the 4 position for 1. I
agree with that.
I think with that lineup, you're going to be good against Boston. Matter of fact, I think you'll give Boston a fight with that lineup for a lot of reasons. OG's at his normal position. Mikel's at his shooting guard position. Jalen Brunson's at his position. And you get the defense. You get the defense that you've been wanting from Mikel the whole season. And you get
with Josh on the bench, you get the minutes distribution that you need so that nobody's worn out come the fourth quarter.
He'll do anything. You want him to start, he'll start. You want him to be on the bench, he'll be on the bench. I believe Tibbs will make a starting lineup. And that's going to be in a play. I think you keep the lineup the same for this season. This lineup has gotten you a lot of wins, and has also gotten some bad losses.
So I'm sorry. Are you done? I wasn't sure if you're done.
Also, Knicks are 15-0 when they're up by 15. While I do say they play the bench, I want everyone to look at that stat. The Knicks are 15-0 when they're up by 15. That's to the minutes police right there. To say they're playing this too many minutes. If it wasn't for that stat, I would disagree with y'all.
That's a good stat. That's a good stat. It's okay. I got you done. Okay. So one thing, Keith, The 3-point defense is still terrible, by the way. We still last in 3-point defense. So yes, even with the improved defense, because we gave up like over 40% to Portland, and we gave up another, I think, over 40% to the Clippers too. The 3-point defense, for whatever reason, hasn't gotten better. I'm hoping it still could. I mean, it's a very short sample size, but as far as, and also the mention the starting lineup. Now, if Coach Tibbs decides to do it, I'm riding with y'all. Trust me, I'm not a part of no hive. I'm not on the Mikal Bridges club. I'm not in the Josh Hart club. I'm not in the Brunson club. I'm a Knicks fan. I don't care if we gotta trade whoever and whoever gotta come with the bed. I don't care, bro. I'm trying to win a championship. So if Mitch is gonna get me there, then fine. The only concern that I have with Mitch starting is going to be 3-point defense, right? Because how does Mitch? Because here's the thing, like, especially if we talking about Boston. Really, I'm just talking about Boston. Now, everybody else, I think Mitch in the starting lineup can work, especially Cleveland. But Boston, if they're not playing big, if Boston's playing big, then yeah, you need Mitch in the starting lineup because now you could put him on Luke Cornett. But if Cornett is not on the floor and you got Tatum and Brown, I don't know how I feel about Towns out there because he does a bad job at guarding the 3-ball. And Boston exploited Mitch last year. A few times he played them, especially the first game last year. I remember KP had like 33 on top of Mitch's head.
Put him against KP.
So it depends on who Boston starts. Now, if Boston goes with the big lineup, because KP might not even be there. If they go with like Horford and Cornett as the starters, then yeah, I'm starting Mitch because now he's going to give you that backside help that we didn't have the last time we played them when they was getting all them rebounds. And Luke Cornett had 8 points. He had 6 points on offensive rebounds because nobody else was there. Josh Hart and these little dudes trying to battle against a dude 7 foot on the backside make no sense. So I thought pressure should have been out there, but that's a whole nother topic. Mitch can help with that. So I agree. I think overall the defense will be better with Mitch out there. And if that's what it takes, man, I'm riding, yo. I listen, man, I'm not married nor am I stuck to, one way it has to be, and I believe in Leon Rose and Tibbs. So whatever they decide to do, I'm riding with them,
So the way I look at it is this, right? And this is going to go into the offseason too. I'm glad whatever Mikal and Tibbs talked, they had a productive conversation. So no bad blood was there, thank God. I think that's the last thing we need right now. So salute to both Mikal and Tibbs for being grown adults and just saying, listen, we need to talk. I don't want no bad blood. And, I don't even think this is supposed to get out. I don't even think that whole story is supposed to get out. You know what I mean?
No, it's Stephon Bondi asking questions, man, and Mikal, feeding into the questions more so than he normally does. Because Mikal is normally like very reserved. Him and OG are the two most reserved interviewers. Even when MSG asks them questions, they're not as like forthright like everybody else. Like they're kind of like short with their answers. Yeah, I just trying to play good basketball. That's usually how they answer questions. But this time, I'm not sure if he's comfortable with Steph Bondi. Maybe that's his man's in them. I don't know. But I felt like he kind of fell for the bait. Yeah. So outside of that, I don't think really Mikal did anything wrong. Nor do I feel like he felt some way towards Tibbs. And also I think that if he did have like he said yeah and no. Like Tibbs, he has his ways, but at the same time, I express whatever we express. Now, the question, like I said, once again, was posed to Tibbs to make it seem as if Mikal pulled him to the side for a conversation. No, that's not how it was positioned, right? So shame on Stephon Bondi for writing that. And even shame on him for writing the last article he wrote, which is like the coach is still cagey. Okay, that tells me that, yeah, Coach Tibbs is not really rocking with you, buddy. So, of course, you're going to continuously take the unnecessary shot. But I was going to pull up Mikal Bridges' game logs. Just to look at the minutes that he's been playing to see if it really did drop. So I see 40, right? But this is overtime. This 40 is really 35.
Really?
But it's really 35. It's just that we went to overtime, so he got an additional 5 minutes. But Sacramento, he paid 33. The Clipper game wasn't overtime, right? That was regulation.
Regulation.
But the Laker game was overtime. So this 43 was really 38. Then we got 35, 28, 30, 33, right? And I think the Philly game, was that overtime?
Yes, it was.
I don't remember. So yeah, once again, 36 minutes. So that would have been 36 minutes, 27, 29. So way before, there was this issue with Mikal's minutes, his minutes has been dropping. And the reason why his minutes has been dropping is because of Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet, who's his backup, has been playing pretty solid. It's a combination of Shamet and Deuce that back up Mikal. And Shamet has been playing really well, so Coach Tibbs, to get him more minutes, he's been taken away from Mikal. And in a couple of those games too, Mikal was on the bench in the fourth quarter, because he wasn't, his offense production, whatever. Bottom line is, Mikal's minutes has been coming down, has came down way before this so-called tension and conversation. Oh yeah, his minutes is too high. His minutes has been down. So yeah, Stephon Bondy, he was kind of reaching for straw. I don't know if Stephon Bondy, I'm not gonna say he archetyped it like that, but once he got it, I think then he put it together. Like once he got it, then he put it together.
It was the way he put it together that made it sound like very hostile.
But they've been setting this up all year. The media,
of course,
been doing this all year. So it just Mikal finally gave him the
he gave him the ammunition.
But they've been trying this with the Knicks players all season long.
Oh yeah, man. I remember when they was asking Mikal about the money, his contract, right? What do you think about it? And Mikal curved him. So Mikal, he's a great curver. That's why I'm surprised he even criticized Tibbs in that way. But I think Mikal, because I don't think there's no video of it, right? I'm pretty sure.
I thought he was criticizing him when he said it. Like I said, I don't think
exactly
to it. The media,
there you go.
Body is making more of it than what
make it in. There you go.
I wish it just had never been said and stayed in house. That's what I meant by it. I don't think it's a big deal at all with the team or the players, but the media sure is running with it. And we have a good team. We want to enjoy it. Knicks fans don't want to turn on TV. I mean, we finally on TV 40 times this year. 40 times we're on national TV.
Yep.
We don't want to hear about the BS when we turn on our team to turn the game on to watch our team.
Facts.
Nobody else has to deal with it. Only the Knicks.
Yep. Because it gets clicks and views, man. Gets clicks and views. Even Draymond, what he was doing with Towns, because he's in media technically too, even though he's a player.
That was weak.
Yeah. Come on, bro.
Response source. I thought it was a class act by Towns, because
yes,
whether people like to admit it or not, Towns is not that guy. He will not call you out. He will not. He's going to stand on business when it comes to the court.
Right.
So the fact that he said, handle it with love, I respect that. He's got no.
Yeah, you got to. You got to.
Love to see them search out that matchup tomorrow and let Cat take his aggression out on the court.
I would love a 40 ball tomorrow, man. Yo, if he can get us 40 points, we definitely win in the game, because he's the one player that the Warriors don't have somebody that they can put on them. It has to be by committee in order to stop Towns. So whether Towns steps up to the plate, that remains to be seen. I think he can, and I hope so, because I really want to get this win. For a lot of reasons. Not just because I'm a Knicks fan. Not just because I'm a Knicks fan. I have a bet that the Warriors won't make the playoffs. So I need them to get some losses, man. I need to get them to get some losses, man. Come on, y'all can do it, man.
Bro, hey, I love you, man, but I know you're responsible. You're the objective Knicks fan, so I know you didn't put more than you could handle on the line. But
of course. I just want to win still, though. I know I lost. Yo, you know what's funny, right? Because this is my barber, right? And me and him, we did not have one conversation about the bet. Not one conversation. It's very weird because we're very boastful. So in the beginning, remember the Warriors is killing it, right? Third seed. Never had a conversation with him. He cut my hair. We talk about life. We're not even talking about sports. It's too early to talk about basketball. Cutting my hair. Then the Warriors started losing. They was like 11th seed. I gave them a pass. I said, you know what? I'm going to give them a pass. I'm saying, yeah, let's wait. And now look at the Warriors. It's crazy, bro. Yo, oh my God, man. I think I'm done taking bets with people who, I think I'm done, man. I got bad luck with the people I know, man. I'm about to just stick to the parlay builders stuff, man. I can't. Because every time, like, even with Dusty, right? We talking, right? The last Laker game. He like, man, I just hope y'all just blow us out so I could turn eternal, right? Like, dude, you're a Laker fan. Why would you say that? You're too humble. Then they start coming back. Now he's like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe not. Maybe it's going to be a game. I'm like, oh, my God.
Foul. I was there. Foul.
Oh, my
Hey, guys,
God.
I'm about to call it a night. It's been a long day for me, and I got to.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
I want to make a point before I get off, though. One thing
Go ahead.
With the being trouble goal, that was hands down probably the best call of the year. Best call.
Go ahead, Keith, get it out.
One thing I'm going to say, I think we have the talent and the ability to go really far in the playoffs. One thing that I will say, as far as Cat's concerned, as great as he is on offense, the one thing that he has to do, and this isn't just on Tibbs or on just him or just on Tibbs or just on JB, but all three of them collectively have to do a lot better job of, number one, getting Cat the ball down low when these guys are out there trying to guard him with these 6'4" and 6'5" wings. Get him the ball down low, and Cat, when you get the ball down low, be a 7-footer being guarded by a 6'4" player. Dominate that guy. He seems to somewhat be. I still don't see him put his hands up on defense on the jars, but I mean, he seems to be checking his bully tendencies because he was getting a lot of charges early on in the season going against those younger guys or those smaller guys. But so he seems to be using a little bit more finesse, but it's getting ready to be playoff time. You're going to be able to get away with some of that more physical play. You're going to have to start moving those little guys out the way. Don't let them get you outside the paint. He should be grabbing the ball underneath the rim every time he's got one of those little 6'4" guys in front of him. So that's my only gripe about him. Other than that, we all know he is what he is on defense. Offensively, that's my only gripe about Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, he's the missing piece for our offense. It shows. The numbers don't lie. The eyes don't lie. So, but with that, good night, guys. I'm going to finish listening.
Salute, man. I appreciate you. Go ahead, man. Get your rest, man. Get your rest.
All right, y'all. Good night.
Objective. I want to sponsor I would the largest league, New York blew was 13 points against OKC and Cleveland. That was the only time they blew a large lead.
Right.
And another thing is that JJPNYC says Blondie has always been sneaky, gives off the cool white guy vibes, but he's a snake. No, I agree with that. I've had that opinion about Blondie too. He hasn't shown it until like that Mikkel report. I think that Mikkel report sealed it for me. Dolan said he refuses to talk to reporters because they trust the clicks. I agree. That's the one thing I'll go crazy about Dolan.
Yeah.
I think I'll talk about Dolan. And JJPNYC is 3-point defense and 50-50 rebounds are a glaring issue. No, I agree with that too.
Big facts. Nah, you guys all hit it on the nail. And to touch on the Dolan point, right? It's sad that even the dude that was with ESPN, he was with Stephen A. Smith before Stephen A. Smith made the change. Not Skip Bayless, after Skip Bayless. Damn, I can't remember this guy's name. Oh, my God. Anyway, Max Kellerman. There you go. So Max Kellerman, like, there's been a lot of people in media that's trying to get the fans to not like Dolan and to boycott. Because, like, he was a Knicks fan. Now he's a Net fan because of Dolan, right? And it's this big thing on Dolan, like, not liking Dolan. I'm like, dude, first off, he's the owner of the team, right? So you can't fire an owner. You can fire, Leon Rose can be fired, Tibbs can be, everybody can be fired. You're not firing the owner, right? That's rule number one. Rule number two, our issues with Dolan has been resolved for years.
Anymore. That's it.
he's
He
not right. There you go. So why in 2025 should we not like Dolan when he hired the guy that got us the guys that we got now? It doesn't make any sense. So the media, I think, is kind of like, because, you know, a lot of history, bad blood, they're creating these narratives, and it's up to people like, you know, me, still Knicks fans, for us to really, you know, talk, you know, put the real information out there, because it's just.
I got a question for y'all. To the people that say
Yeah.
fire Nico, I'm about to. Do you want Nico as your owner, as your GM? Yeah, I went there. Do you want Nico as your GM owner for the Knicks? I went there.
Yeah. Well, we know, because Dolan said no one's going nowhere. This team is going to be the team for the next year, so no one is going nowhere. So, I mean, the fire Tibbs, all of that needs to go in the wastebasket. The owner said that this team is going to be the team for the next couple of years, man. So, but hold on, let me do this let me do this upcoming what were you going to say, Yuri? You got another call? Okay, Yuri got another call. Okay, cool. So I just wanted to give you guys the upcoming programming, to let you guys know the next shows we're going to be doing. Tomorrow, the live play-by-play. Make sure you guys are here. We're watching the Warriors game together. You watch on mute, I watch on mute. I am not trying to listen to nothing they got to say. No worries. I'm going to have all the stats and the facts. I already pulled up some of the Jimmy Butler stuff. We're going to talk about that tomorrow, and watch the game together. Then on Sunday, I got the members only Parlay Sundays, right? Every Sunday around noon, we're going to be doing the Parlay Builder shows. And on Monday, we got the podcast, This Week Inside the Knicks, at noon. And noon is the new time. We moved up 6 p.m., had to make some shifts. So now we're going to be doing it every noon. And then Thursday, which is really Wednesday night, but 12:30 a.m., midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, into Thursday, we got the after midnight stream. So I just wanted to share that and me let Yuri get his call in. Hello? You there,
I'm
Yuri?
back. Sorry about that.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So what you was going to say?
I was going to say is that this whole week has been crazy for the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You got people talking about fire Tibbs. You got people saying Mikel is right. You know, it was crazy. And let's be honest here, Mikel had a right to speak out on it. I saw a lot of people say Mikel didn't have a right to speak out on it. When you're the player that is leading the league in minutes, you're the player that leads the games played, you're the player that basically is available to play every day, your body's in top condition, I feel like you do have the right to speak out on it. Now, did the report come out saying it was full? No, the report came out. Was it twisted? Yes. I knew that report was fishy from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was like, let me see what happens in the end. But here's the thing, though. Tibbs loves Mikal Bridges. Wanna know why? He drew up that play for him for that game winner. Guess who was the one that saw him hit it? It was Tibbs. And you know what he did before everyone celebrated? When he saw that go through the hoop, he raised his fist towards Mikal.
Yep. There you go.
That means he loves Bridges.
Of course.
And I'm so glad that report came out, because you want to know why? Because the media knows that Tibbs isn't getting fired anytime soon.
There you go.
Tibbs is going to be with us
there you go.
for the next 3 years. Do I want Tibbs fired? No, I don't. You want to know why? The last time we fired a coach, we were the worst team for a decade.
There you go. And the thing about it is, it's like, all the replacement guys are all assistant coaches. They can be great, but they can also be terrible. So it's a risk. Why put yourself in that position when you're doing good? This is the time to be optimistic, right? This is the time to be optimistic. So, you know, I that's just where I'm at with it. Like I told you, Yuri, you know, we take it, you know, instead of one game, we look at 10 game stretches. Yeah, day by day, 10 game stretches. See, you know, that's how we look at trends. You know, always stay optimistic when you got a good team. You know, it's really that simple, right? But people jumping off the deep end, we got 40 wins. I'm pretty sure no other fan base who achieved a wins mark that they hadn't done it in 28 years would be calling for the coach's head. We're the only fan base where that would be. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I didn't understand that. When you have a coach that has 42 wins, has led you to the best starting. Yes, we can meme him about the minutes.
Of
He
course.
ain't gonna change. He's not going to change. I've accepted that he ain't gonna change.
Yeah. But the change has also been made though too, Yuri. Like we got the 9-man rotation rolling right now.
Rotation. The bench
So we can't act like that. Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised in the offseason the Knicks just upgrade the bench. They're good. There's a lot of stars that are linked to wanting to come to New York. But Jay Dolan knocked that report down. This is the team we're gonna roll with. This is the team we're going to pursue. This is the team we're going to have chemistry built. This is who the Knicks are. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do get Dante DiVincenzo back in the offseason. I think we get Dante.
That'd be crazy. I don't know. Because I think Minnesota really wanted him. But that would be crazy. I ain't gonna put nothing past Leon Rose. If he's able to get Dante back, yo, that'd be crazy, man.
Dante back, that's our bench right there. He's gonna be the bench.
Okay. So Yuri, get your final words out because I'm gonna shut down a little early because I gotta get up early tomorrow.
My final words is for a year one team that was assembled before the regular season, I would say Mikal Bridges has done a great job despite the rocky start he has. I think Mikal Bridges is the X factor for this Knicks team going into the playoffs. I don't think it's Jalen. I don't think it's Cat. I think Mikal Bridges is going to be the X factor. And this is just year one. What happens when this team is together for year two, year three? This team is together for a long time. I think until 2030, to be exact. So I'm very excited to see where the Knicks go from here on out. And do I think we need a new coach? Part of me has been thinking about that. And part of me still says no every time. But I will say this, though. Don't expect Tibbs to get fired to the Menace Police because he's not. If anything, I'm going to rebuttal that statement. He deserves to walk out on his own.
Facts. Nah, I'm riding with you, man.
That he deserves to walk out on his own. When he hits like the 70s, around that, this is Tibbs' last ride as a Knicks coach.
Oh, yeah.
He's not going to get another extension after these 3 years. He's going to be, once 28 hits, he's going to be in the front office. Mark my words on it.
Wouldn't be surprised.
And he deserves to be in the front office for what he did.
Facts.
That's my final words.
Man, thank you, Yuri. I appreciate you, man. Rocking out Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, channel member, and repeat call on the call-up show. I appreciate you, man.
We do need to have a playoff watch party, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. I'm gonna make some. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that. All right, Yuri. All right. Yeah. So Yuri, I forgot to mention that earlier. So some guys in the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, it was J-Tap. He said that, hey, yo, we need to do a playoff watch party. I'll fly out. So I'm gonna be working on the playoff. We gonna get together, y'all. Hopefully, y'all guys listening, y'all will want to be at the watch party. I'm still putting it together. You guys will get more information. But salute to J-Tap for that. He definitely put it out there. He's gonna fly in. Now, J-Tap, he's somebody that has been on the West Coast tour. He's literally on the West Coast tour. He went everywhere. He went to Los Angeles for both games against the Clippers and Lakers. He went to Sacramento. He drove 10 hours to go to Portland. And now he lives in the Bay, so he's going to go to Golden State games. So, salute to J-Tap for the dedication. So, yeah, we're going to be working on something. But before I wrap, I definitely got to give a salute to some of you guys, JJP NYC, Tendril, Nick Shaq, Knicks will be Chance 2526, Own Dios. Definitely check him out on YouTube. Of course, the callers, Keith Watkins. I also Nostalgia Nick, I see you in the building. Of course, Yuri. Of course, Trevor. Of course, Mike from PA. And of course, Big Dog Talk Sports. Definitely go check his channel out. Before I go, the last thing I want to share, I just want to share with you guys the channel membership. And if you guys want to, take your support up to the next level, feel free to join the channel, man. We got the starter Knicks fan package and the hardcore Knicks fan package. Now, I'm not even gonna talk about the hardcore Knicks fan package. I'm gonna talk about the starter Knicks fan. Now, once you get the starter Knicks fan package, when you join the channel, it'll give you access to the Discord server where we have the 24/7 Knicks chat, 24/7 NBA chat. We even got a 24/7 Fight Fans Only chat. I'm thinking about adding some more chats, but we'll see how the people in the Discord feel. Like if they're interested in talking about other topics, we can talk about it. So that's what you get when you join the channel. I'm in there. It's the best way to extend the conversation outside of YouTube. Also, channel members, they also get badges, right? We got members only chats. We got priority replies, the comments, of course, whether it's on the live chats or whether even if it's on a poll or in the community section. I always look out for the members because you guys help support and grow the channel. I do these specials updates, unfiltered thoughts. I started doing the video versions to the unfiltered thoughts. I also do members only lives like we're going to do on Sunday, the parlay builders. And just I got a whole bunch of different content. I do creative content, even like my basketball games I got up there. You can check it out if you're a member. And of course, the members always get shout outs because we salute the members, and definitely an extended discount on the merch. So definitely, if you want to support, do appreciate it. Hit the join button and get the Starter Knicks fan package. And I hope to see you guys on the other side. But let me see. That's all for this show, y'all. I do appreciate everybody that tuned in. Like I said, JJPNYC, Tendrell. Salute to some of the early people, Nostalgic Knicks. Salute to you, Crimes Dad, channel member. Got to get him in the Discord server. Yeah, he's he's putting these funny emojis on the videos because he's checking out some of the old members only videos. Salute to Sherwin. Salute to Parish Thugger. How could I forget Parish Thugger? I always appreciate the support that Parish Thugger gives on every show. And yeah, thank you for rocking with me, man. That's all I got for you guys tonight. So until next time, let's go Knicks.